session tonight, I would like everyone to roll initiative now, because I am expecting us to be in and out of combat so much that I would rather know initiative beforehand, and you may use boons to re-roll initiative.
Okay.
Or other, like, you can make a creative case for why you want to roll initiative, but in general, I'm just expecting us to spend a lot of our time in initiative order, so I'd love to just know that now and put it on this here whiteboard so that I can keep track of
15.
that.
Can I get a boon? Can I get a boon, chat? Can I
get a boon?
Can I get a boon?
Can I get a boon?
Let's start with 15 to 20s. I know Wash is a 15. Anybody else 15 to 20?
I'm 17. Plus,
Okay.
well, wait, do I add the initiative?
Yes.
Yeah, initiative bonus.
Okay,
Yep.
so then it's 22.
22
Nice.
for Savage Tempest. Hitman's got his reflexes.
What's
Jeb,
up,
you're a
what's up?
15. Do we have any 10 to 14s?
Can I get a boon?
I need a boon.
Do we have any 5 to 10s?
Boom me, baby.
Wait. Give me a second.
Alan, what's
Give me
yours?
a second.
I got a 3.
Oh, dang.
First official roll with the new dice.
Okay. So you said 5 to 10, including those ranges, right?
Yeah, 5 to 10.
I got a 5.
Okay. Fox with a 5. What are our 1 to 4s? Yeah, what'd you get,
3.
though?
I rolled a natural 1 with a +2 for a total of 3.
Hey, we both got 3. That means you go
Alright.
first, though, because you have a better dex than me.
No, he goes last because he rolled a nat 1.
Oh.
I'm just gonna put you're dirty 3 and then his clean 3.
I mean, mine's still a dirty 3. I rolled a 4 and have a -1, so.
Dang. This
It's
is
just a different bad.
yeah. It's just a different bad.
bad.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. We begin our session spending time not in the deepest, darkest dungeon. Belly says there's no boons available. Let me fix that. Hang on. This is important, so we're not going to start until we put these back in. Y'all are going to need these.
Give us our boons.
We gotta fill our bellies with boons.
You know, if taking a boon is a bonus action, it would be a baboon.
Ah.
Haha.
You right.
Stop monkeying around. Watch.
Oh,
All
Boom
right.
me, baby.
Boons have been activated. Let it be
Yay.
known. So, as I said, we left off last session with our party split into 2 places. We have Fox, Savage, and Jeb are at the top floor of a warehouse where Savage has just finished literally murking a guy. And they're trying to figure out what to do next before they regroup with Zothkug and Aulen, who have just gone down an elevation change machine and have just walked into whatever is beneath the Umbral Sea. And I will redo that exposition for you guys so that you get all the details tonight. But we're going to start up above with our friends who have not gone down yet, with Jeb and Fox and Savage. And just as a reminder, we're acting in real time here. So however long you take in this scene before you go down, like, I'm going to make Aulen and Zoth wait that long before introducing you into the scene.
But we don't
with
know that.
them. But you don't know they're down there. I'm just, for the players to understand. That's kind of what's happening here. So, in front of you, beyond Savage, who I believe Fox is currently trying to help heal. That was the very last thing. Savage asked for healing, and Fox said he had him covered. Beyond Savage is a command center type room. There are some glowing cipher instruments on the walls. There are notepads, maps, tables with different sort of scribbles and diagrams on them. There are locked drawers and safe boxes and things like that. And there are some large one-way windows that actually look out over the compound, and mostly to the north, what they see is smoke, because this building's pretty close to where Jebediah blew up a bunch of huge batteries in the last episode.
My handiwork.
To the east of you, look at me getting it right, to the east of you is the rest of the compound sprawled out, which is mostly abandoned as all of the guards have run over to the explosion, and all the other workers and stuff. They're trying to figure out what's going on there. And then on the far side of the compound is the elevation change machine that Fox and Jeb left to come over here and regroup with Savage. To the south, it's really just wall stretching away from you. So that's the situation you're in. Savage has been up the other floors of this warehouse already, so there's no like surprises sneaking up at you or whatever. And that is the scenario we find ourselves in. begin play.
All right.
Fox, thank you for the healing.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate
Savage. All right,
There's
so
a
I
close
got
one
this
there.
red flask. You can have it. If you need more, okay.
Okay.
We all know that red means blood, which means healing.
Yes. All right. I'll put this away for later.
I'm sure it doesn't mean fire.
I really hope it doesn't mean fire. That would if I use it the way it's intended, things might go wrong.
Nah, what are the chances? Anyway, we need to get going. All right,
Before we do that, I would like to investigate the room a little bit. Fox, remember the last time we saw one of these places, there was like a map, and that's where we found out where this place was. Is that there was like a battery location or places that we thought that the avatars were. I want to kind of scour around in here and see if I can find an updated. See if we can update our notes on this play on their operations.
I want to.
I just don't know how much time we have, Jeb. But I agree. You're right. We need.
Aulen's a big boy, and he's got Zoth with him. If he gets beaten down, Zoth will just heal him up. They're
I'll be
the
honest,
perfect
Jeb.
duo.
That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried if things start coming down. You know.
Yeah, man, what?
When things start coming down, people are going to start searching the place for things.
While you
wanna be
guys do
around for
this,
that.
I'm gonna start lockpicking some of these boxes real quick.
I'm gonna add a die to
See
the
what's
equation.
inside.
Is there people anywhere near us? Are we just saying this all out loud next to employees?
No, there's nobody near you. It's just you on the top floor. Savage has killed everybody else, so there's no one else up there with you.
All right.
You want me to make an investigation check, Josh?
Yes, I'd like an investigation from Jebediah Peppermint, and I'd like a sleight of hand from Savage Tempest. And we'll start with Jeb, and then we'll do Savage.
All right.
I got a 6 plus 7, 13.
13. All right, you find a number of things, and this is a search of the room for general stuff, or are there specific kinds of information you want?
I am looking for their any indications of their current plans.
Great.
So locations, objectives, progress bars.
Yep.
Of we have just done a thing, things of that nature.
Great. So you find a couple of things. The first thing you find is a binder that has some information in it that seems to be sort of like an operational directive for this facility, like the general charter or the purpose, whatever. And as you're flipping through it, you're not absorbing all of it, but as you're kind of speed reading and skimming through, you find out that this facility exists to manage something that they always refer to as the Rift. And the Rift requires a living moonstone dragon to function properly, which is why they've imprisoned one in the basement. Specifically, beneath the lake in Skull Cavern, there is a moonstone dragon imprisoned there, and that is part of making the Rift work properly. And you aren't entirely sure what the Rift does, but that's what this facility is for. You can also determine as you're reading through it that the batteries here are storing divine energy extracted from Larodith, the avatar of Owara, and that divine energy is being stored so that it can later be used to stabilize the Rift, whatever the Rift is.
Not anymore.
So yeah, at least half of those batteries are no longer available for that function because you blew them up. The other thing that you find is laying on the ground, you find a spent cipher that after some analysis you can determine was a cipher of message. You don't know what the message was. Now let's jump over to Savage Tempest. You did some lock picking. Tell me what you got.
I got an 11.
You got an 11. Okay, it takes you a while to get through, probably 10 or 11 minutes, but these are they're highly classified documents, so it's not entirely unreasonable for them to just have a really good lock in place here. And you finally get into one of these filing cabinets, and there's only one file in it. And at first, that's really disappointing. But when you pull it out, it is marked military progress. And when you open that manila folder, inside there is a map of all of Umbral. And on the left side, you can see that a whole bunch of it is covered in red X's and circles and stuff that kind of indicate the progress of an army, beginning in the Tiefling nation of Hishala and kind of sweeping down towards central Urada. They've covered most of western Urida, and they're about to kind of push into central. There's a red circle around Aspesh, which is a central human nation, but it hasn't branched out anywhere. From what you can tell, the army is in Aspesh, but has not begun doing any kind of conquest. And then on the eastern side of the map, there is a circle around the area north of this facility, like far north of this facility. And in it has just been handwritten goat folk. And there's a date underneath of it. And the date is 3 weeks from today.
Well, Jeb, come look at this. This might be useful information to you guys, not to me, but it looks like it's almost in correlation to what's on the table.
Yeah, I put the binder in my backpack, and I take a look at it. So does that mean that these goat folk are going to be there in 3 weeks from today? Like, is that a destination?
It almost seems like it. It seems that there's already people stationed at this one right here. But I also remember seeing plans like this when I was doing some snooping around in the warehouse.
Josh, can I roll just to keep an eye out while we're all talking about this?
Yeah, perception, like just to be on watch, basically.
Yeah,
certainly.
Danger.
Just so you know, I rolled a fantastic, unbelievable, awesome 6.
Okay. You are keeping watch, and you are doing as good a job as you think you can do.
What's going on with goat people?
I think they're attacking, or at least,
What?
Well, that's 3 weeks. Do I recognize any landmarks if I compare my map to this map here, where that mark is checked?
For the goat folk?
Yeah.
They're north of Oat.
North of Oat.
Those of you watching us actually live on Twitch, you can see in the background of our stream overlay is the map of Urida. Oat is up there on the top right. You can see it right next to the Wingle digit counter. So we're talking about north of there in that sort of greenery area.
I don't know of anything up there. Yeah, I mean,
I've never been this far east, man.
Unless, I mean...
I've never heard of them, actually. Have you ever been up, or have seen one up close?
I've not. But what concerns me is, as far as tactics are concerned, it looks like this army on the west front is kind of starting at the north and swooping around down to the east. I wonder if this is going to start up in the northeast and swoop down through Oat and like the other cities, like if it's going to do like the same sort of maneuver.
Are they sweeping and then all converging together for a final sweep?
I've added a sacred die to the tension pool.
I don't know.
Also, to interpret more of what you're seeing, you could roll insight to try and get
let's do that.
A little bit of a sense of what they might be using this for.
Do we all do it?
No, one of you can do it.
All right, Jeb got it.
16.
Based on the positioning of the two armies that are not moving, you're pretty sure everything will converge on rust free.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like what you're thinking, Savage, is that they're doing some sort of sweeping pincer maneuver converging on rust free.
Considered stainless now, right?
Yes. Sorry,
Okay,
it would
cool.
be considered stainless now.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any crazy political event that happened that I don't know about. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Rust free. Is there anything of a major importance here?
I don't know of anything around there. I think Aulen and his buddies back in the day, like there when he was in the army, did some stuff through there. So maybe we can ask about him later.
Maybe we should go find him.
I'm gonna Fox. Let's pat these guys down. They look important. Maybe they've got some important stuff on them, and then let's get out of here.
Yeah. Let me go check real quick. I'm gonna just go quickly and check pockets real quick.
Go for it.
Investigation, I'm guessing.
Yes, please.
16.
All right. There are 3 people in the room. One of them was Savage's mark. You don't find anything on that person. The other 2 people are some sort of commanding officers. You don't know private security goons well enough to recognize ranks, but they're obviously like a supervisory type position. And
Okay.
you find a couple of what I would call like generic loot, TM on them. You find another flask with some red liquid that kind of glints when you swirl it.
Okay.
And you find a 3 D10 wingle digits, which you can roll to determine how many you have. And then on the other one, you find a small round object. It appears to be some kind of alchemical creation. Like it's not a cipher, but it's some kind of round object that's actually a little bit sticky when you touch it. And there's a small metal pin sticking out the center of it. And lastly, you find a key that looks like it might go to one of the filing cabinets in this room that Savage has not opened yet.
So wait, you said a round sticky object with a metal pin in it.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
I
said what I
But
said.
you can't sticky it.
Okay, can I roll to intuit that it's dangerous to pull the metal pin?
You don't need to roll to intuit that it would be dangerous to pull the pin, but if you'd like to figure out what it does, you can roll Arcana, Mr. Bard.
Josh,
Yes.
I wasn't in here, but Wash is curious if Savage's mark still has the expended magic missile cipher that he burned on him.
Yeah, he does.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I got a 14. What do I know?
All right. You've actually heard of these before, but you don't know what they do. It's called a Tangler grenade. But when you bring it up to the room, Savage knows exactly what they do in his line of work. A Tangler grenade is an alchemical, non-magical item with a resin shell that will shatter on impact. As an action, you can throw it up to 60 feet, and each creature within 10 feet must succeed on a saving throw or be restrained by spider webs that fling out of it. As an action, they can try to free themselves with a successful DC 20 strength check. Ooh. A gallon of alcohol will dissolve the webs in 1 round, or they dissolve on their own after an hour. So
dwarves are immune.
It's a
So just a normal night for me.
Yeah, so it's a non-lethal way of restraining them. Aulen.
Pause.
Amazing.
So 1 hour or alcohol will disable.
Yeah.
Okay. And 10
Alcohol
feet.
Disable? Or...
Yeah, 10-foot radius. So that's a range of 20 feet really around it.
Okay. Okay.
What'd you find?
Just wanted to mark all that down. Sorry.
That's a real item, by the way, that's in like D&D source. So if you just write Tangler grenade, you can Google it later and it will pull up all those pieces of information.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use that key then.
Okay. You use that key on another filing cabinet. It doesn't take long to find the right one. Savage has already opened another one. So anyway, you narrow it down which one it is. You open it up. And you find a couple of different like handwritten notes and journal entries and stuff. Most of it is really boring, like supervisor stuff, like shift change at this hour and whatever, marking stuff that has happened. But you do find a couple of useful things. One of them is a diagram where it looks like someone was trying to kind of mentally take notes on a presentation or piece together how something worked. It's a drawing of the Umbral Sea. From profile view, looking at it from the side, and you can see in the center of the Umbral Sea, there is an arcane sigil, and then the word Lerodith has been written over top of it, like suspended in the water.
Lerodith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lerodith being the avatar of Aura.
Jeb, I think I found where the avatar is.
Where's that?
I'm going to go ahead and place it down on the table.
Avatar? What's an avatar?
It's a really bad book they wrote, a while back. It was supposed to be an adaptation of an oral story, and it just didn't really go well. And I don't think they've made any sequels since.
Got jokes?
Huh. Can I roll perception?
What are you trying to see?
If he's lying?
That would be an insight check to determine if he's lying.
Oh, I guess insight.
Fox, if you'd like to deceive him, you can try deception to pull it off.
I'm rolling deception. I think that was a great joke.
Well, I got 26.
I got you know what? I also got in the 20s. You know what I got? 21. I failed.
You know he's joking.
I'm not going to pressure you. I'm just curious. That's all.
It's a whole. I mean, okay. If we, Jeb,
If
what's
it's
going
gonna
to
take too long,
but
we
it's
can move
important
on.
that we find them. We got to go.
Yes, it's
where
important.
is it going? Where are we going, Fox?
It's dead center of the water. Okay. So remember that elevation change machine we were by?
Right.
I would have to assume that it has to lead to somehow to be able to get there, because like nobody can reach that. But in order to set up the trap or whatever they did, there has to be some way to reach it, right? Like there has to be a way to maintain it. So I assume like we have to go down because it's underneath the ocean, and I don't know if going through the water is our best. You know, knowing water with our whole thing, I don't think we should be swimming.
Okay.
I'm adding a third die to the tension pool.
Oh, real quick, Josh, real question.
Yep.
When Fox healed me, am I back to full health or?
Well, unless you drank that potion he gave you, he didn't actually do any healing. Like that was the healing he gave you. You said you were going to save it for later, so right now you haven't recovered anything.
Oh, word. Okay, never mind. Go on.
Okay, you're right. Time's of the essence. We have. Is there anything else we can grab from here? Because we gotta go.
I was just curious what was in these lockers, so nothing here is of interest to me.
No, grab that map. Roll up what you can. I'm grabbing this binder so we can see more about their stuff. It's probably going to be dark down there. Fox, do you have your loop on?
Sorry, out of character. I'm writing notes. What did you say?
Your loop, the thing that lets you like punch through space and.
Oh yeah.
You said that like helps you see in the dark, right?
Yeah, no. Here, wait. Give me 1 second.
Make sure it's on, and then we got to go because it's probably going to be dark down there.
I always leave all my stuff at the bottom of the bag. I'm sorry.
I have my torch if needed.
Okay, I got it on. All right.
I picture Jeb as having like the photography bag with all the little dividers in it. Everything has its exact spot. And then Fox has like the drawstring Nike bag where everything's just like rattling around in there. So every time he needs something, it takes him like a minute and a half to find it.
I don't understand how you keep like make an organizational system. It's not difficult. You just have like little pouches inside or something.
We can't go about this right now, okay? We don't have time, and perhaps we'll never have time to go over my organizational skills and how bad they are.
We'll see. What's on the list? Let's go. Hup.
All right, I'm following Jeb.
Yep.
Where are you going to?
We are finding the quickest route to the elevation change machine that we saw previously.
Okay. You are doing that. As they head over towards the elevation change machine, we cut downstairs to Aulen Wadrir and Zothkug Hibub. The two of you emerge from the elevation change machine into a dim, green, shimmery room. As you're kind of taking in what you see, you realize that the light is filtering through the Umbral Sea, which is above you, into a sort of crystalline cavern. It's almost like a tunnel that's been dug out by some creature. And there's no sound except for the sound you bring in with you. Your footsteps reverberating back at you sound like, you know, the slap of pen on paper, of hammer on nail, of any kind of percussive noise you can think of. It's very abrasive. And so you kind of stop and you sit still and you just take it in, looking around you. The walls are made of some kind of crystal material that sparkles like stars in that green shimmery light as it kind of wavers and moves through the Umbral Sea above you. And as you're taking all this in, you realize it's really, really cold. Like 10 degrees Fahrenheit type cold, and you both roll a Constitution save.
Ooh.
Oh. 17 for me.
23 for me.
All right, neither of you are affected, but you get the sense that over time you may occasionally need to re-roll this save to continue being unaffected.
Okay.
Now that you're sort of taking in the room, you stop noticing the construction and you start noticing the space. You are standing in what honestly looks a little bit like a dining room. The elevation change machine behind you is, like, obviously you have broken it, and so it's plummeted down to the ground. But where it landed, there's like a nice sort of draped curtain that can be closed over it to mask it from view. And then the room you're in is sort of circular, and it has a round table in the center draped in a shimmering silvery tablecloth that glints and glimmers in the reflected light just like the walls do. And on that table, there's a little teapot and several little glasses and saucers around it, mugs and saucers. All of them are kind of gem encrusted and fancy looking, but not in the way where it's like this was wrought by a master. It almost looks like those little kids' art projects where it's like glue the tiny gems onto the thing and you like make it's like haphazard. There's a door to your left and a door to your right. And then in front of you, through the crystalline wall, you can see down into a cavern that, for one, is massive, but for two, it's shaped like a skull resting on its side. You would be down by the throat or the mouth, and then the other end from you would be the top of the head. So as it's resting on its side, you can see two sort of dents into the far side of the cavern that would be like the eyes stacked on top of each other. And then you're, again, where like the jaw would be, sort of in that range. And it looks like the tunnels to the left and right of you maybe extend. They look like they're curving just a little bit so that it might kind of maybe make a ring the whole way around this cavern. Looking through, it's not a perfect view into the room. You know, the crystal walls do some weird refracty things with the light. It's not a super clear sight, but you can definitely see down there a dragon laying on the ground, unconscious, imprisoned in an arcane sigil just like the one you saw around Garlel at the Fallen Library. And sitting in front of that dragon is a drow with purple hair and teal eyes who is looking up towards you. She sits cross-legged with two swords sheathed on her back in an X. And as you look down at her and make eye contact, Mavira stands up, draws the two swords, one of them glowing in an icy blue and the other flaring into a fiery hot red. And she stands just ready, waiting for you. There is no way down that you can see in this room. So however you get down there, you'll have to find that means. But
interesting.
For the moment, this is the scenario in which you find yourselves. And you know what that means. It means it's story time at the Wing Badger Tavern, and we will be right back after this sick bumper.
Sinir, Garanteus, Kotex, Owara. Long ago, the four ancients created a world in harmony. Then, everything changed when the chat emped magic. Only Kelnor, master of good vibes, could stop them, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. 2 years have passed, and four adventurers have discovered a conspiracy, a company selling magic. And although their roleplay is great, they have a lot of XP to earn before they're ready to save anyone. But I believe they can save the world.
Let's meet our characters for the evening. We're going to start at the top and go left to right.
Hey, I'm Wash. I play Jebediah Peppermint, the Molefolk Gun Wizard. I'm gonna die. Tonight's the night. I'm gonna die.
What's going on? I'm Sir T-Sav. I'm playing Savage Tempest, the Wood Elf Ranger. I'm with Jeb. I don't think I'm doing well. If I don't drink this red liquid, I'm done.
Hi, I'm Jake. I play Aulen Woodrear, the Azamar Barbarian Artificer. And I, too, am really intrigued as to how tonight's going to go. All I know is I'm going to get to test out my new flamethrower.
Hello, I am Trevor. I play Zofka Kibba, the one who will keep everyone from dying.
And hello, I am Matt. I play Fox, who is guaranteed gonna have this all in the bag. I'm sure there will be no problems, no issues. What's the worst
It'll
thing
be
that can
unorganized. It'll be unorganized.
It will be a
Pray
little
for plot
unorganized.
armor, guys. Praying for plot armor.
happen? Just a little unorganized.
And I'm Josh, your Wing Badger Game Master, here to guarantee you that my players do not have plot armor. And I've brought a very special something with me to this stream. I don't know if you can read what this says. This is a stein that is labeled "The Tears of My Players" that I've brought with me to tonight's Dungeons and Dragons session.
How fitting.
I'm gonna
perfect.
pour tonight's drink for the tavern within the tavern into my stein, so that way we can both drink out of steins.
Stein Bros.
Stein!
Stein Bros Bagel Company.
Well, now I need a Stein.
Mine's right behind me.
If we die before the tavern within the tavern, you can just pour one out for the boys.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Roll it up for the
There you
boys.
go.
He just literally dumps it on his desk. All right, let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
one
And that
out
means
for
we're
the boys.
jumping back into the crystalline cavern with Aulen and Zothkug. Begin play.
So,
For it, sorry.
you go.
Okay, Alan is gonna touch the wall nearest to him and see whether that crystalline surface is actually ice.
It's not ice. It's cold and not quite smooth to the touch. Like, it hasn't been
Okay.
worked, but it's very solid. It's slightly coarse, like concrete type texture.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like some kind of actual crystal rock thing.
Okay, at least we know that we'll be structurally sound in case any explosions happen, or at least more structurally sound than if this was made of ice.
Zavka, laser focused on Mavira, just stares her, postures up to her, like reaches behind him, and just pulls out his pot and just stares at her. And then puts it back on, turns around, goes over, and shuts the curtain to the elevator. Or the elevation change machine.
Okay.
Do you have any preference as to whether to try left or right?
What's with this tea set?
This tea set. Well, my guess is there's more pressing matters to attend to. Alan will kind of like point his head at like the dragon and Mavira. I'm not really sure. I think that's something we can check out afterwards.
Can I investigate it real quickly? Is it full?
Yes, there is liquid in the teapot.
Can I try and discern what liquid is in the pot?
It smells like tea.
How many cups are there?
4.
Can I pour E for the two of us?
Sure. You can definitely
tea
pour tea
set.
for the two of you.
We gotta stay warm, Alan.
Alan's gonna like grab his teacup and like give Zoth like an interesting eyebrow, like, well, I've never doubted you before, and he'll kind of like bring it up like cheers,
Cheers.
and then clink it, and then he'll down it.
Each of you gets 1 hour of resistance to cold.
Aha! Okay.
Bro,
Big
I was
risk
about
at
to
risk.
say,
They
middle of
both
a
die.
battle. Yeah, middle of battle, and Zoth is just like, but it's tea time.
All right. I do not have a preference for left or right.
Well, let's take left.
All right. We'll go left.
Yeah, we'll go down the left passageway.
Exceptional. You go down the left passageway, and each of you rolls a d8.
Ooh. That's fun.
That's how much gold you get.
I got a 5.
You got a 5?
I got an 8.
All right. So who is leading? The hallway's not like cramped, but it's not quite wide enough for you to walk side by side.
Alan is leading. Yep.
Okay. Aulen leads, and Aulen, you go around the bend of this sort of crystalline pathway, that same green, shimmery, dim lighting sort of surrounding you with shadows that play off the walls, almost dancing. And you find yourself in, it looks like some kind of sleeping quarters. It's slightly bigger than the last room you were in, but there are a number of like blanket nests woven from strange fuchsia, ultramarine, and primrose plants that are kind of resting on the ground at different spaces. And as you're kind of just, spinning in place, taking all this in, you realize Zothkug is not with you. Zoth, you follow Aulen around the bend. He goes around the bend. You take one step around the bend, and you find yourself in a room with a floor of sand. The the walls of this room have little shelves of crystal jutting out of them, and on each shelf there is a gem encrusted pitcher, just like there was in the tea room, but these ones are filled with water. And this room is lit brightly as if by the sun, even though you can't see the sun. It also like feels a little bit warmer than the other rooms did, like a casual 40 or 50 degrees kind of warmth.
Okay. Are the is it all four walls that have these shelves?
Yes, but then directly across from you there is an exit, and Aulen, same thing. Directly across from you there's an exit. So basically each room has one entrance and one exit because they're all conjoined.
Okay. Is the water in the pitcher salt or fresh?
The water in the pitcher is fresh, and actually as you take like just a little taste of it, it's like the most pure, refreshing water you've ever tasted.
How many pitchers are there?
There's 13.
Can I take I'm gonna take one, water the plant with it, then I'm gonna grab two and walk out and see if I can find Aulen.
Okay. When you water the plant with it, so you water the plant with it, and then as you turn back to the wall to replace the pitcher, there's like a little puff of sort of wind comes off of the shelf, and it brings with it just a little bit of snow, lit kind of warmly red as if at sunset. The snow lands on the sand and kind of melts in place.
Oh. Does anything happen when I take the other two pictures?
No, although as you've now spent a little bit more time in the room, you start to realize that maybe the little shelves that are jutting out of the walls, they might be in some kind of intentional order. And looking even closer at them, you realize that they all have the same little inscription written on them. They have a little inscription on them that says, "Take these to leave your name, to take these to leave."
Take these to leave your name. To take these. Leave?
To take these to leave.
To take these to leave.
I'm going to jump back to Aulen for a second. Aulen, you're in this sort of nest room.
Yeah, Alan's gonna first try to backtrack to where he last saw Zoth.
Okay, so you turn around and like go back around the bend?
Yep.
Okay, roll a d8.
Okay. 2.
You walk into a room that smells like whatever Aulen's favorite food of all time is. What's that favorite food?
Oh, he loves a new, fresh, warm roll of bread with like cinnamon butter spread atop it.
Same, me too. You walk into a room that smells just like a freshly baked roll of bread with cinnamon butter spread on it. And it's actually a food pantry. So as you've walked in, you kind of realize, there are little closets with different foods in them. And then growing on the walls, there are a number of climbing vine plants with fresh vegetables growing off of them.
Interesting. Alan's going to he's going to backtrack again.
Okay.
See if that leads him to the room he was just at. He suspects probably not. Yep. 5.
It takes you back to that same sleeping quarters area.
Interesting. Okay, so he's gonna backtrack halfway, like just kind of get into the hallway. Okay. He's going to wind up his little Tinker Toy soldier guy and send him forward. Okay. And stand back for like 10 seconds until he gets out of sight, and then follow him.
Okay, so you've sent little Tinker Toy forwards. I'm gonna roll Tinker Toy's d8. You can roll a d8 for you.
Okay. 8.
And Tinker Toy gets a 2. All right, so Aulen,
okay.
Zothkug, you've just read the inscriptions when Aulen walks in the other end of the room. Aulen, you find yourself in a room with a nice sandy floor and these gem-encrusted pitchers sitting on little crystal shelves that are jutting out of the wall. And Zothkug standing there, like, holding 2 pitchers in his hands.
And then Aulen will look around for his little Tinker Toy.
The Tinker Toy is not in here.
Okay.
There you are.
Interesting.
Where'd you go?
I went to a couple different rooms. I believe these hallways are enchanted. And I think my little toy soldier getting lost,
I think
which
I
is
figured out this one.
quite sad, is a sign of that. Oh, yes. Tell me. Because, my guess would be it would be some sort of puzzle in order to actually escape this little loop of rooms here.
There's this inscription here that says, take these to leave your name, to take these to leave. So I'm
Take
thinking
these. Yes.
we take all of the pitchers, we pour the water onto the sand, and we spell our name in it. Like
Interesting.
out of the wet sand.
It's worth a try.
That's what I'm going to do.
Alan will take a couple pictures and whenever Zoth is ready, try to spell his name out with the water.
You
Pour in the water.
You pour all the water out, spelling your names, and it evaporates unnaturally fast. Nothing else happens. The pitchers do not refill if you set them back on the wall.
And then if we try to go to a door, what happens?
You can roll a d8.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like anything different happened. Okay.
So now there's no water?
Now there's no water in the pitchers. There's still just little inscriptions that say, take these to leave your name, to take these to leave.
Do you think there's a way to spell our names? Maybe it's not our literal name. That's also a possibility. Can you refresh me on what else is in the room?
There are little shelves jutting out of the walls that have the gem-encrusted pitchers on them. It's all the same crystal material. They're not installed shelves, but just little ledges that the walls have in them with the pitchers resting on them. There's a door at the one end and a door at the other end.
And did I come in the same dorm Zoth came in, or did I come in the opposite door?
Opposite from Zoth.
Interesting.
And the room is warm and brightly lit, as if by the sun, even though you can't see the sun.
Is the shelving climbable?
Yeah, I mean, it would support you. The walls are like thick rock.
Okay.
It's just a clear kind of crystal material. And you can still see, looking through the wall, like to the central cavern, you can still see the dragon laying on the floor and Mavira kind of just, in there prowling around.
Yeah, does it seem like we're any closer than we just were?
You are just further around Skull Cavern than where you were before.
Interesting.
However,
I'm going to investigate the sand.
I would like Aulen to roll a perception and Zothkug roll an investigation for your sand.
Alan did not roll well. 6.
Okay. Something weird happens to your vision as you move along the wall looking into the cavern, but it's like a really quick thing, and so it doesn't persist and you're not quite sure what happened. Zoth, what did you get?
13.
13. Okay. Zoth, as you're examining the sand, you find sort of like covered in sand as if it's been left laying there for a while and forgotten about. There's a small wooden rake, like a little Zen rake.
Ooh, I'm going to rake out my name in the sand.
Okay, you rake out your name in the sand. It disappears really, really unnaturally quickly, but does not, it doesn't like stay or seem to change anything.
Huh. I found this rake.
I seem to... Zoth, come over here. When you look out into the cavern and then step to the left or right, what do you notice anything different?
I will do that. Do I notice anything?
So you're just walking like...
Where Alan told me to walk and look.
That was all in the room still? Sorry, Alan, say your thing again. I was working on
I'm having him do what I just did, where like looking out into the distance, then kind of walk across the wall to see if anything looks different.
Zoth, make a perception check.
27.
Okay, you realize as you're walking along the wall, every now and then, when you look at just the right angle through the like shimmering sort of crystalline walls towards the center, you no longer see Mavira and the dragon. Instead, you see like a white sort of cotton material where the floor of Skull Cavern was, and you see a woman with like wavy sort of shining golden hair laying in the place of the dragon, and then it sort of fades back again as you move to to the left or the right, and you're seeing the same room. And this doesn't happen at just one spot. This happens sort of just periodically as you're walking around. It's like a certain angle of refraction through the crystal walls makes it look totally different.
Could I roll like a history to see if the figure is recognizable?
Sure.
Ooh, 25.
25. Nice. You are pretty sure that you at some point in your, I don't know, research as a cleric or your history of the world type studies, you may have come across a depiction of the dragon who's supposed to live here, Andromeda the Silver Star, and that when she appears in her humanoid form, she appears as a woman with like nearly translucent skin and golden freckles and wavy blonde hair that like actual starlight is shining out of it. And this looks like it could be her.
I will relay everything I've seen to Aulen.
Interesting. So the walls allow for an interesting viewing that perhaps we're viewing through, I don't know if planes is the right word. Well, perhaps, because this is supposed to be a place where the Feywild and our plane are very close. Perhaps that allows for us to see things in different perspective. Either way, I don't know if that pertains to us escaping this room at this very moment. You said you found a rake?
Yes. Is there anything different about the ceiling?
The ceiling in this room, I mean, it's still looking the same direction, but you can't see through it to see the ocean because it's so bright, as if the sunlight was coming through it.
Okay.
Are there any markings on these pictures or shelves that differentiate them, or
Not in particular.
Okay.
And each shelf has the same thing written on it.
Yeah. Take these to leave your name, to take these to leave.
At this moment in time, I'm going to cut back to Jebediah Peppermint, Savage Tempest, and Fox. You have made it to the elevation change machine. You've done a great job of kind of weaving around the guards and ducking your heads when you need to and stuff so that you don't draw any attention to yourselves. However, you arrive at the elevation change machine and you find that the door has been broken open, like the padlock on it has been severed by something, and the machine is gone. And when you lean over and look down the sort of shaft that it travels up and down, you can't see the whole way to the bottom. Like it just goes down into the darkness.
Wait. The elevation change machine we went to, was it at the side of the exploded batteries?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you mean to go to the other one?
That was my thought, but I know Jeb was leading the way.
Sorry, guys. I didn't know we were headed to the other one. I didn't realize this one was broken. I probably broke it when I blew this thing up, and I didn't think about that. But here we are. So we're dealing with it.
We can't see the bottom, Jeb. I
can see, like, how far does it go down? I've got 120 feet of dark vision.
It goes further than that.
Dang it.
Yeah, okay, well.
I guess this rope's not going to do.
So this isn't a problem for me.
Wizards
Jeb,
be like...
Are you thinking, we're not doing... We already went an entire... Nobody's here strong enough. We can't do it again.
Oh, no, I can
do it
just
again.
fly.
Josh, can I do an insight check for to see if there's like a stairwell or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll insight.
Okay.
For you audio listeners, we're all
God.
seeing that Josh had put up the mathematical equations on the screen.
All I can hear is like,
nice.
oh my god. All right. I got the 21.
21. So you can tell that the mechanism is compromised. There's no other way down this one, but you have the insight to think to yourself, there's probably a second one of these on the other side of the Umbral Sea.
It's just lazy. All right. It doesn't seem that there's any way down. We have to go back.
Jeb, I'm going to lead the way this time, okay? If you don't mind.
Okay. I'm going to go down this one. I'll meet you guys on the other side.
All right. Just be careful, please.
Nah. And Jeb just like jumps.
I'm gonna add a die to the tension
Good
pool.
lord.
Brings us to 4. We're close to rolling. You jump. Are you doing anything on your way down? We'll cut back to Fox and Savage in a second.
I'm casting, like, I'm gonna fall a little ways, and then I'm gonna cast Levitate on myself, and that lets me control.
Okay.
Like, not back and forth, but like vertically, so I can just like, whoo.
Okay, yeah. So you do that and you levitate down, and it's, it's a good 500-600 feet, something like that, before you make it to the ground. It's almost as if this elevation change machine is trying to get you beneath a sea.
Once I get a ways down there, I just start humming to myself. I want you. You want me, baby.
You make it to the ground, and in front of you there is, well, first at your feet there's a broken elevation change machine that appears to have fallen down the shaft and like kind of crunched into the ground. And in front of you there is a curtain that has been drawn across the exit. You hear on the other side of it really, really tiny little like sounds.
On the other side of the elevation change.
On the other side of the curtain.
On the other side of the curtain. So I'm in that initial crystal room then.
You're not in the crystal room. You're in the elevation change machine tunnel, and
I got you.
Is between you and that room.
I just kind of like peek.
You peek. And at first you don't see anything, but luckily you're also pretty close to the ground, so you pick out pretty quickly that there is a small mechanized figure just walking on its own through the room. Little like wind-up dude just strolling through the room here. You also see the rest of that space. So you see, the table and the tea set and the shimmery green light, and it's really cold, so you roll a Constitution save.
I am thoroughly constituted. But that is a 6.
All right, you're pretty cold. You have disadvantage on stuff.
Okay. I'm going to walk into the room and be like, hey, little guy, come here. I'm just going to, like, wave him over like a pet.
Aulen, does your mechanized figure actually, like, respond? Like, it's not sentient, is it?
No, it's not sentient. It's just a wind-up thing. When it runs out of wind-up, it'll just stop.
And as it walks by, just completely unresponsive, I just like, oh, right. And I just walk over and I kind of pick it up.
Okay.
This is Aulen's thing.
Its feet slowly like come to a halt as it's just sort of resting in your hand.
I'm going to kind of survey the room a little bit. Do I notice anything that they have interacted with?
You can see that so the table is set for 4 with tea, but 2 of the mugs are not centered on their saucers.
Zoth probably drank one of those. And that means if Zoth drank one of those, Aulen would have overanalyzed it, but once he would have seen that Zoth drank one and was fine, he probably would have drank one too. I'm going to drink one. You don't
see it dead soft, so...
Did you say you're going to drink one?
Yeah, I'm going to drink one.
You get cold resistance. Your advantage goes away. Your cold resistance lasts 1 hour.
I'm going to...
Ooh, also, so you would have had to climb up to the table to reach the teapot. From the table, you can see over the edge at the end of the room. And so looking through the crystalline wall, you can now also see Mavira and the dragon and the arcane sigil.
Does Mavira see me, or is she looking somewhere else?
She's looking somewhere else. She's actually sitting cross-legged like she's waiting for something. She has her 2 swords resting on her knee. And one of them is glowing blue, and the other one isn't making any color or like elemental reactivity right now.
I'm going to dump out my water skin and pour the 4th cup, because I know Fox and Savage aren't coming in that way behind me.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pour that in there and save that for later. Can I make just a quick Arcana check on this crystal window? Does it seem magical at all, or is it just...
It does not seem magical at all to you.
Okay. Where do they go?
There's a path to your left and to your right. Both of them seem to curve around the cavern.
Which one smells better?
The one to your left.
What's it smell like?
Smells like freshly mown grass.
I like that. That smells kind of like Zoth's pot. All right. I'm gonna go left.
Roll a d8.
6.
6. You find yourself in a long room, the same crystalline construction, shimmery green, dim light, still pretty cold, although of course it's not a big deal for you. It's still silent, your little pitter-pattering footsteps and the rustling of your coat as it slides along. You're in a Thames uniform, so you don't have the rustling coat. You just have the boots on of the delivery driver. So your boots clicking and clacking on the hard floors are the only sound that echoes back to you. This room has long banquet tables in it. Each of them has suspended at the end of a stalactite a silver platter over it. So they're kind of spaced evenly above the tables. And there is suspended in the air, floating seemingly by itself, is a throne made of coral woven with stardust that sort of glows on its own, and it's just revolving gently in place where it is. There's also an exit at the opposite end of the room. Like, you could conceivably walk out and continue your curve.
I'm going to put 2 and 2 together and be like, this is where the Gem Dragon's hoard is. This is probably their... Okay, so this is... Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna touch anything, and I'm gonna keep walking on.
I'm adding a die to the tension pool. You're going to continue walking on, so you'll roll a d8. 3. You walk into... This is one of my favorite rooms. You walk into a room with paintings on the wall, done in a variety of styles using colors you've never seen nor have names for, depicting living vistas and scenes. The paintings are moving. The wind in them is animated. The horses are galloping. Closer study reveals that each painting has a name and a date meticulously engraved on the frame. There's also a large bookshelf to one end of the room, crammed full of books. You don't recognize any of the titles, not that you're like a literary historian, but they're not titles you recognize. And there's also a number of paintings of creatures, and those creatures... You're pretty sure they're moving, but every time you look at them to check, they hold still.
What are some of the names, like some of the writings on the paintings?
They're all just like, they're not historical figures or anything like that you would recognize. They're just names. But each of them has like a name and a date on it.
Can I suss out any significance to them, like a pattern repeating, or like all in a certain month, or
as you
different
wander
months of certain
around,
days?
As you wander around the room, kind of comparing the different names and dates and stuff, you realize that all of the names match up to one author of a book on the bookshelf.
Interesting.
Flipping through the books, you realize that they are dream journals.
Do any dreams jump out at me specifically?
Not any particular dreams, but as you read through them, if you're holding, like, let's say you're holding the dream journal for Tabitha Anderson, when you look at her painting, whatever page you're on, that dream is depicted in vivid flowing paints in the frame in front of you.
I will very cautiously slide the book back.
Okay.
And there's another exit out of this room, correct?
Sure is. Yep.
Before I go, I'm going to try to triangulate and message Zoth and Aulen. Hey, Aulen. Hey, Zoth. That's 120 feet. To see if I can find them.
Yeah, let's see here. Aulen and Zoth, you hear a message from Jeb asking where you are.
We can respond with message, right?
You can.
We're at the beach.
More specifically, we are in a room filled with sand and sunlight and trying to suss out how to leave.
There's the answer I was looking for. Okay, thank you. I'm in a dining hall. I went through a dining hall with a throne, and now I'm in a room with dream journals whose contents show up on appropriate paintings.
I don't believe that there are any actual rhymes or reasons to if you continue down the hallway, like each exit. I believe that you just come to another kind of magically generated room, as I have checked, and there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason as to like backwards or forwards where you go, if that makes sense.
Oh. I found your little guy, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I used him to test that theory, in fact.
Nice. Okay.
Well, in that case, I believe that there's some sort of puzzle in this sand room that will allow us to leave, or at least get to the main cavern. That's my suspicion. Either that, or perhaps there's just a necessity to keep trying doors until we find the right one, or the right one kind of randomly appears.
Maybe all the rooms have to be done in a certain order.
Well,
maybe. I don't know.
if you guys keep tinkering on that puzzle while you're in there, I'll keep running through doors, and worst case scenario, I just find you.
Sounds good to me.
We cut
Fox,
upstairs to... Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
I was just going to tell them, I came down the shaft that you guys fell down, I presume. I hope that wasn't me that did that.
We survived.
Okay. We're alive.
Fox and Savage are there's another one that comes down somewhere else.
Perfect.
They're working their way down, and then I'll run off.
Chat grants a boon, so I won't clear the tension pool for Fox and Savage to cross the expanse of the rest of the compound here and get to the elevation change machine. Your walk is uneventful, if a little bit slowed occasionally as you duck behind a corner or whatever to keep yourselves hidden. But you make your way over to the other elevation change machine, and you get there. There is a padlock just like before between the two of you. Easy peasy. Lock falls apart at your hands. And inside there is a elevation change machine in the little fence wall. And as you go to pull the lever, chat grants a bane, and I roll the tension pool.
Wow, chat.
I am awesome. I know who you are. I know who you are. I am awesome.
You're not awesome. That's 5 tension die.
He's gonna find you.
I have a particular set of skills.
All right. As you enter the elevation change machine and you pull the lever and you begin descending, you see a detachment of private security goons headed that way as well. Not chasing you. It seems like they're just planning to go down the elevation change machine.
Well, we better get going.
You kind of ratchet down the line there. Roll a d8 for me, Fox.
Ooh,
His life be like
8, and I got a 2, and I hope that's good for me and you.
What's your favorite food, Fox?
Favorite food? Probably what Mama made, which was gonna be like a baked zucchini pie.
All right. Savage, what's your favorite food?
French toast.
Each of you smells your favorite food when you get to the bottom of the elevation change machine. You push open the wooden door in front of you and realize that it's the door to like a pantry cupboard, except right now the elevation change machine is behind it. You step out of the elevation change machine, close the door behind you, and find yourselves in the same pantry I described to our friends earlier. It's a room that smells just like your favorite food, with a number of shelves and cupboards that are all stocked with different kinds of foods and, juices and pitchers and things. And there are a number of climbing vine plants that are growing up the crystalline walls with fresh vegetables growing off of them. The room itself is lit a shimmering dull green by the light filtering through the seawater above you. As you look up, you realize you are beneath the Umbral Sea. And then looking out the sort of interior wall of the room, you can see into Skull Cavern itself. It's a cavern shaped like a skull laying on its side. And where you are right now, you're kind of located by the back of the head. So the eye sockets are ahead of you, stacked one on top of the other. And then off to your left, you can see where the jaw would be down at the far end. And in the center, imprisoned in an arcane sigil of some kind, you can see a gargantuan dragon with fuchsia and white scales and little feathers that are kind of poking out between the scales. And then you can see, not looking towards you, but looking in another direction, is a drow warrior with purple hair and teal eyes. Fox, you recognize Mavira. Savage, you've not encountered her before.
This ain't gonna be easy.
Why? Do you
All
know
right.
this one?
Wait. We need to disable this elevator. I'm gonna turn around. Is the elevator moving yet?
The elevator has not gone back up yet, but you can hear the machine like whirring to life. I'm gonna put 90 seconds on the screen.
Savage, do you know a way we can disable this? If not, I'm just gonna try to start cutting cables.
What about that Tangler grenade? Could you possibly shove it in there and make it into like jam the systems?
Do you think it's gonna work?
I mean, if we could save it for something
right,
better,
no.
but
Well, the person down there is gonna be really hard to fight, so I'd rather not use it if we don't have to. But you're right, it's a really good use of it.
all right. Savage is gonna. Is there a DM? Is there a
Oh.
mechanism there? Like a just like a
There's
I guess
a lever.
like a
There's
pull
a lever
or a pulley.
yeah. Well, the pulley would be at the top, but there's a lever in the elevation change machine to call it, like to
Can
tell
I
it
see
to go
the
down.
pulley at all?
The pulley's way
Wait.
up above you, like where you left.
But can I? All right. Can I see the wire to the elevator?
Yes, there's a cable.
All right. I'm going.
30 seconds.
All right.
If
I'm
we
gonna
can't
take my.
disable this,
Yeah.
I have a plan. But
Go
try
ahead,
with your
hit
best.
me. Okay. No. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my crowbar out,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go over to the main system.
Yeah.
So I can't see any of the pulleys. Ugh.
14 seconds.
All right, I'm gonna do the classic trick. I'm just gonna smack the control panel as hard as I can till it completely breaks.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand in the elevator just in case it doesn't.
Roll strength, Savage.
Ooh.
I got. So I add the dice plus the number plus that, or is it whatever the dice plus one?
Dice plus, and then you see how on strength it'll have a +3 or a +2 or something
yeah.
like that.
All right. Yeah.
Add
So
that.
11.
11. Okay. You smack it really hard. You bend the lever and it kind of falls a little bit to the side, but it doesn't fully separate from the machinery. Fox, are you going to do anything? Time has expired, so that's Savage's action.
I'm standing in the elevator if it didn't break
It
it.
begins climbing.
Savage! Protect my friends! Save the Avatar! They'll tell you what to do!
Fox, you better be careful.
It fades up towards the ceiling and Fox vanishes out of sight. Savage, you are alone in the pantry.
After calming down and kind of catching my ground, I'm gonna look around. Is there any way to like recall the chamber to come right back down?
No. There's a lever at the top outside the cage to call the elevator up, and then there's one in the elevator to actually send it down.
I'm gonna do. I guess I'm
I'm gonna add a die to the tension pool on Fox's behalf.
I'm gonna go ahead and kind of step towards, I guess, the glass wall that I can see through,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna look at Mavira and the dragon, and can I use a I guess would it be perception to see maybe what she's looking at or what like the direction she's looking into?
You can see the direction she's looking, but the cavern's a little bit too long for you to see through the wall on the other side. Like, because
Okay.
they're not fully transparent, you know, it's kind of like a murky, crystal-y sort of look.
Gotcha. And there's one exit in my room currently.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna take one look back at the elevator or the chamber, and then on my way out, I'm gonna grab a pastry off the shelf, take a bite, and exit.
Okay, you grab a pastry off the shelf and take a bite. It is cooked to perfection. It's exactly the right amount of baked. It's the perfect amount of crunchy and soft.
Ooh.
And as you eat it, you recover 4d6 hit points.
Ooh.
You go ahead and roll those yourself. And you don't need to tell me what you rolled. Just go ahead and add those back onto your HP. Obviously, you cannot go above max. We cut from Savage leaving. Oh, actually, roll a d8 so I know what room you go to.
All right. Gotta get that one out
These
now.
B8s.
All right, hold up. I gotta find it. There we go. 5.
5. You find yourself in what looks like a sleeping quarters type area, but instead of bunks or beds, there are these weird nests woven from strange plants that are fuchsia, ultramarine, and primrose colored. It's got another exit on the other side, the tunnel curving off into the distance. It's still that same shimmery green dim lighting filtering through the water. And in the total stillness, even your own breathing seems to kind of press in on you.
Can you give one quick, I'm in another crystallized room, or am I in a room like that's
This is another crystalline room.
Okay. Another, I'm gonna do a perception check, I guess, for anything that's, is there any shelves or any cabinets or anything in the room of that nature? Like a
Not
chest?
in this room.
I'm gonna continue on then.
Roll a d8.
7.
A 7. All right. You walk into a room with an upside down fountain, somehow fed and recycled back into by the Umbral Sea above, and surrounded by a number of upside down tables with games of checkers and sets of dice on them. We cut from you to Zothkug and Aulen, who have been working on the sand puzzle.
Can you remind me the thing on the shelves, the saying?
Oh, yes. Take these to leave your name, to take these to leave.
Okay. Aulen is going to go up to one of the shelves with a pot. He's going to
A pitcher?
take a pot, pitcher, whatever. He's going to take the pitcher. He's going to speak Aulen Woodrear into the pitcher, set it back down on the shelf, go to a different shelf, take a pitcher, and walk up to a door.
It makes no change.
Mm.
And also, just to be clear, there aren't doors. It's just a hallway that extends out.
Walking up to the hallway, see if anything happens. Okay.
Yep.
Can I dig in the sand to see if there's any more things buried?
Yeah. As you dig in the sand, you roll an investigation check, please.
Yes. That's good. 22.
That's a great investigation check. You don't find anything else hidden in the sand, but you recognize as you're digging, just like with the water, when you move sand with your hands, it almost reforms or kind of flows back in it refills in the hole very quickly. But where you step with your feet, it doesn't fill in as quickly. They seem to linger a bit longer.
Okay, I'm going to try and quickly spell my name in the sand with my feet shuffled.
As you finish the letter H, or the letter G, I should say, of Zothkug, in the interior wall facing into Skull Cavern, the middle of it sort of peels backwards and a staircase begins jutting out of the crystal wall, leading down into Skull Cavern.
I did it.
Interesting. Great job.
Do we want the pictures?
Well, it does say to take these. Well, why not? Aulen will grab a pitcher in one hand. He's going to have a pitcher in one hand and his little flintlock handgun in his other hand.
Zoth is going to scoop up some sand in the pitcher that he takes.
The sand falls through the floor of the pitcher and lands again on the floor of the room.
Oh, he'll take an empty pitcher then.
Okay. What are you doing?
And then going up the up or down the stairs that formed.
Who's going first?
Yes.
Aulen will go first.
Aulen, take 2d6 damage as you walk into a wall of magical force.
Interesting. Okay.
Zothkug, you walk right through and down as if there's no obstruction in the way. So Zoth, you're able to walk onto the stairs in front of you.
Interesting. Does Aulen notice that does Aulen take more damage as he continues?
No, he doesn't make it through.
Oh, okay. Well, then Aulen's gonna bonk against it, kind of shake his head, and then that was
Aulen,
stupid.
spell out your name.
Oh, I have to. Well, first Aulen's gonna set down the pitcher, and then put a finger forward and see if he can. Does that do anything? Can he pass through?
No, as your finger gets closer, you feel like that staticky thing that you're like, oh, yes, if I went further, this would hurt me again.
Okay. Alan's going to go back to the sand, spill out his name with his feet.
As you finish the letter N, you don't really see anything change with the stairs, but you get like a good feeling.
Okay. He's going to pick up his pitcher again and walk through.
You walk through onto the staircase. The two of you looking down the stairs, which of course appeared out of the wall of Skull Cavern. Mavira is standing at the base of the steps waiting for you. She grins up towards you as she speaks the command word and ignites her flame brand sword. So now her ice sword and her flame sword are lit. We cut to Fox going up the elevator, richeting up towards the top of it. It takes a little while. Up is harder than down for primitive machinery, but eventually you find yourself at the top.
Wait,
yep. Okay.
Before I reach the top, there's a couple of things I got to do.
Uh-oh.
All right. Okay, first, I'm going to pull out my saxophone, and I am going... you know what? Fox is praying for the first time in a long time, if not only time. And he is praying to Kay, and he's just like, I hope this really works. And he plays on his saxophone. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. In an attempt to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
All right? And in order to help that, he will shapeshift into a different person no one has seen yet on site. He just chooses at random. Slightly taller build, fair skin.
In order for him to do that, he's going to need to be close enough to somebody with a rod of 7 parts for the weave to reach him. We don't know in space where Jeb is relative to him. So here's what we're going to do. Jeb, you're going to roll a percentile. Aulen, you're going to roll a percentile. If Jeb rolls higher than Aulen, then Fox is close enough for his magic to work.
I didn't think this hard about it.
I got a 73.
I got a 16.
So Jeb
what does that mean?
Not roll higher than Aulen.
No.
So he is not close enough for Fox's magic to work. I'll just drink some of the tears of my players here.
If that doesn't work, I'm just going to have to rely purely on my shape-shifting abilities.
And your armor.
I love the idea, though, of Fox coming
And
up
my
this,
armor. You're
this
right.
elevation change machine with people at the top just hearing this music.
And, okay, I put the saxophone away once I see it's not working.
Chat grants a boon. Woo! Go ahead, Fox. What you doing?
I'm shape-shifting, and I want to have indents in my arm or shoulder to appear as if though I'm wounded, and I will even make the skin around it appear the same red as blood. Obviously, I can't make blood appear, but I can shapeshift my body to look like I'm wounded by making the color and shape-ish look like I'm cut and wounded. All right? I'm going hard. All right? And I'm wearing the outfit still, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just go ahead, with all that together, get ready for the best acting in my life as we reach the top.
All right. You reach the top, and in front of you, there's a small squadron of private security goons. One of them looks at you and goes, "What are you doing here?"
They've already have it.
They already have what?
Yeah. Power source, yeah. They're going up the other side. With ciphers and magic. I couldn't stop them. We need to go stop them. I'm gonna roll the best deception of my goddamn life.
Yeah, you are?
Please. Checking my modifier because I don't think 17's enough. I got a 27, please. Please.
Do I see a natural 1 on the DM's roll?
Wait, I'm not looking.
They immediately are like, "Oh no, we gotta go and handle that. Come here, we'll get you to the med bay on the way there." And they, they like hold out a hand to help you limp over. A bunch of them run off, so there's just 2 of them now with you.
Just go on. I think I just need to sit down for a second, man. Let me just sit, please.
Why? But if we take you to a medic, you'll feel better.
I know, but if you're gonna need all the people you got, man. I watched so many people die.
The 2 of them look at each other, and they look back at you, and they go, "We never leave a man behind." And they reach under your shoulder and like pick you up, and they're gonna start dragging you towards the med bay.
Okay, I guess I'm going to the med bay then.
We cut back downstairs to Jebediah Peppermint. Jeb, I don't remember what room we left off with you in, but through the wall, you can now see a big staircase has jutted out from the side, and Aulen and Zothkug are making their way downtown towards Mavira, who's waiting for them at the bottom of the steps.
I had just left the dream book room.
Okay.
And I rolled an 8 as I went into the other hallway.
Oh, he rolled an 8. So you actually arrive in the room behind them. There's an opening in the wall with some staircase leading down. It's a big sandy room. It's really bright in here. You're kind of squinting. It's weird. This room feels like it's sunlit.
I can't even see anything.
And the same walls, and it's still, it's like that.
Yeah, so I hear their footsteps echo, and I run through that magic door.
Okay, well, you would, except instead you take 2d6 magic force damage as it sort of rejects you.
What the?
Do we hear him bounce off of it?
No, you don't.
Okay, then we would keep going down. Or unless he somehow knows.
No, you don't know.
Then, yeah.
Oof.
Functionally, basically, the magic is the same thick crystal wall that was already there. It's just that the wall is only open for the other people. I saw the Bane, whichever of you in chat asked about it. I saw the Bane happen right after the boon. I'm saving that for the next scene.
I'm gonna try and message them real quick. Hey, Aulen, what? I just bounced off of an empty hallway. I'm in a room with sand. What do I do? You said there was a puzzle.
Did we get the message?
You do. I had a die of attention.
Alan's like stepping towards Mavira threateningly, but then also he like turns back and's like, spell your name out in the sand with your feet.
Okay. And so I start to shuffle I'm like, dang it, why does my name have so many letters?
You spell your name out in the sand with your feet. As you're doing that, we jump back into the room with Zothkug we jump back to Savage. Savage is in the room where he took the pastry. He's just left. He rolls a d8. He took himself into the fountain. He's in a room with a fountain jutting out of the ceiling that's fed by the sea above and then refreshed into the sea. And it's got all these tables with like gaming sets and stuff on them jutting out. And you can also obviously leave out of the opposite side of the room.
Is there any like food or like any like glasses that are filled with anything?
No.
Okay.
Savage is actually just like he's got the munchies. He's just wandering around looking for food.
Just like get some snacks real quick. I mean, the room doesn't really look too. I mean, it looks beautiful. Sounds beautiful. Looks beautiful. Yeah, it looks beautiful. We're gonna move on though.
Okay, roll a d8.
7.
You find yourself in the same room. You go around the corner and you walk back into the same room.
I'm gonna look up. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to turn around.
Yeah, as you turn around, looking through the interior wall, you see that a huge staircase has just appeared jutting out of one of the rooms opposite the cavern from you, and that Aulen and Zothkug are walking down it towards a drow who has drawn a flame sword and an ice sword.
Well, I'm going to walk right towards them. Like,
I mean, you'd have to still go around.
Oh, I'm not in the sand room yet.
No.
Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and continue on.
Roll a d8.
2.
Okay, I had a die to the tension pool. You're back in the pantry.
Oh, good. I'm going to take 2 more pastries while I'm here.
Okay. You take 2 more pastries. Are you eating them right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I'm gonna put one in my mouth and then stuff the other one in my pocket.
Okay.
As you do.
as you're in that room and you're choosing your pastries or whatever, you see a little recipe card. Like, there's a bunch of recipe cards really, but you notice that on the recipe card you find it notes that the magical effect is only really potent while the food is fresh, that it fades very quickly.
Oh well, I'm gonna shrug my shoulders and move on.
You're like, it'll still taste good.
I got food. All right, so to roll, I got a 2 again.
So you find yourself back in the den, and
Your guy only rolled 2 and 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll again. Then we're just gonna keep going.
Are you just gonna walk as long as it takes to wind up in that room?
No, well, I'm back in the pantry, right?
Right, I'm saying, are you just going to keep trying rooms as long as it takes to get to the sand room?
Well, I mean, at one point I was going to turn around and go back, but then I saw the stairwell open up, so it gave me hope that I was close. So I'll roll one more time, and then I'm going to try to figure out something. Take one more walk. 3.
3. You find yourself in the art room that Jebediah Peppermint was in. There are a number of paintings on the walls with weird scenes and vistas that are actually alive and moving. They're depicted in colors beyond color that you don't even have names for. And the ones that are portraits of creatures, they hold still when you look at them, but as you look away, you could swear they're like moving around and like sort of winking at each other and stuff. There's also a large bookshelf.
And I can still see people through the
looking through the thing, you can see the staircase. Aulen and Zoth are on it. We're going to cut back to Aulen and Zoth. Aulen and Zoth, you're making your way down the staircase. Aulen turns around to say something to Jeb, and as you turn back, Aulen, you feel yourself overstep on the rough crystal steps and lose your balance a little bit. Make a dexterity save to catch it.
What? Try and catch him, or at least catch his head.
If he fails, you can roll a dexterity save to catch him.
Okay.
9.
Okay, he fails and begins falling. Zoth, you can roll a dex save to catch him.
Here we go. 18.
18. Zoth catches you as you he catches you by the nape of your neck basically as you're like leaning forwards, and he pulls you back up and you get your balance again.
That was kind of embarrassing. Aulen's gonna look.
There you go.
I guess I'm too concentrated on this situation. Aulen's gonna look forward at Mavira. How far away would you judge her distance to be?
She is probably another 250 to 300 shins away from you in a straight
Holy
line
cow.
going down the stairs.
Okay. It's not like we're like opened up right in front of her. Okay.
No, and she's waiting for you at the base of the stairs. She has not rushed up to attack you yet.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. What Aulen wants to do is eventually, when he gets within 15 feet of her, is to use his new Eldritch Cannon that he's built to do a 15-foot cone of fire. That's his first move. So that's kind of what he has prepared as his action. He has the pitcher from the previous room still in one hand, but he's prepared to drop that if he needs to draw another weapon or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah.
We're going to cut back to Fox, who is being led towards the med bay by 2 really well-meaning private security goons. They're taking him to the med tent.
How nice of them.
Don't worry, we're going to get you the help you need. We'll get that arm patched right up.
Thanks, man. Just once you get me to the med bay, please. I don't want anybody else dying like I saw down there. You gotta go over there and help out others. All right, let the medics take care of me once we get there.
Nah, we'll see you through this. Walk you to the tent. And you know what? You can roll persuasion. I shouldn't just do that to you. Roll persuasion.
Okay. All right. So we got a 10 on the die, but hear me out. That's actually a dirty 20.
All right. You persuade them. They go, all right, you're a strong, independent security goon there, and we're gonna leave you to take care of yourself, and we're gonna head out of here. And they drop you off at the med tent. And then when the medics see you, you get dropped off, and the medics immediately run out and like start wrapping bandages around your arm. They immediately notice that your arm is not bleeding. So you want to tell me about this?
How many medics are there?
2.
Is there
The
anybody
others all
else?
ran to the site of the explosion.
Is there anybody else critically injured in this room?
Yes, there was an explosion.
Okay, I don't want to indirectly kill people by incapacitating the medics. I'm alright. I'm gonna look him dead in the eye and be like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not cut out for this, and I'm just gonna book it in the other way.
You hear the medics just say to each other, "Coward," and then they go back to what they're doing in the tent.
Okay, the
They're
second
like,
I leave,
too busy to deal with your crap.
I gotta calm down, look normal, and look around. Are the people still rushing to the other side?
Roll performance for your calmness.
My D20, come back!
Imagine
The
having one
D20's trying
D20.
to run away.
D20,
Okay.
come back.
Performance is not as good, but I still rolled a 10 on the die, which means a 17.
Okay. The other guards have almost made it over to the elevation change machine, so they're about to find out that one's disabled.
I'm a book it back to the one that actually works.
Okay. You just haul tail until you can get there. You pull the lever, you go down the elevation change machine, it takes you to the ground floor. You find yourself in the pantry, the same place that Savage Tempest was, just as Savage wanders back in with like a pastry in one hand and shoving another one into his pocket.
Oh, hey, Fox. How's it going?
I made it back. We really gotta figure out how to disable this thing.
As you look through the inner cavern wall, you now see that Zoth and Aulen are headed towards Mavira. Aulen's just tripped and Zoth has caught him and pulled him back onto the steps.
We gotta disable this thing fast. I'm gonna quickly put my bag down on the ground and start digging through it. The cables that move it, what are they made of roughly? Like, are they metallic? Are they kind of organic? Like, is
They're
it
like
rope?
a heavy
Is it
rope material.
a heavy rope?
Yeah.
All right, I'm pulling out my daggers and I'm just sawing away at it really quickly.
Roll strength.
All right,
I'm gonna add a die to the
So-
tension pool.
hear me out.
Oh no.
8.
Okay.
Are you hearing me out though? Are you
Fox
hearing
does
me
not
out?
appear to be making any progress at all, Savage.
I'm gonna walk. All right. I'm just gonna walk over and take out my short swords, and I'm gonna go ahead and do like a double like slash, like one quick slash.
Okay, roll strength.
Oh. 7.
7. Savage is
the real-
also making no difference of adding a die to the tension
This is the
pool.
real boss fight, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rope.
The day the elevation
Does
change
it look?
machine died.
Oh,
I am awesome.
Yeah.
I had a great plan. Okay.
We
You
cut back
realize
to
we have to
Jeb.
get back out of here, right?
DM. Does the
Yeah?
is the rope is this rope like flammable like in any way?
If you were able to get it to catch, it would burn, but it's a heavy rope, so it's not like you can just hold a candle up to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would need a pretty strong fire.
All right. My next thing here. Oh shoot. Save that.
Wait.
Never mind.
Wait.
What?
I don't know if it's gonna be enough, but it's worth a try. I'm
Hit
gonna
me.
pull out my saxophone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast prestidigitation and try with the weak effect of it to light the thing on fire. I can light and snuff a small flame. So I'm using that
small
to try
flame.
to trying to hope that small flame.
The small flame is described as a candle torch or small campfire, and a candle with my exact example of a not strong enough flame.
Oh, gosh.
But a small campfire.
All right.
A small campfire might be enough.
No, it's not enough, and I'm going to put 90 seconds on the clock as the guards are approaching this elevation change machine again.
Fuck, scoot aside. I'm going to pull out my rifle and take aim to the point where it'll collateral these two ropes.
Okay.
I'm taking the
I
shot.
also love the idea that we're in the same exact spot
Yes!
that we were last time.
Y'all know the definition of insanity, right?
I'm rolling. Okay, what am I putting this on?
You're so close, and it's point blank. You're able to make the shot. Just roll damage.
Okay,
And I'm going to roll a d20 to see how many hit points this heavy rope has. Chat, you're going to watch the roll. Oh. It's a good roll for you.
Let's go.
okay, so 2d10s plus 5. I got...
Oh, just the +5 is going to do it. It only has 3 hit points.
Okay, I got 9, so...
Yep. So you're able to sever both ropes in one gunshot. The gunshot reverberates around the otherwise silent cavern area. Aulen and Zoth, you only hear a very muffled little... Jeb, who is just about to enter, you've just finished writing your name in the sand. You hear a gunshot reverberate through everything. But it's just the one, and then it rests.
Mint. They didn't say I had to do my last name, but I did anyway.
Oh, so did we did it in time though, right?
Yeah, you did
I
it.
see the timer's still going.
We're
Okay.
good. Okay. All right. Well, that seems that now that we have one problem solved. Back to what I've been dealing with.
Okay. Yes. What have you been dealing with?
Circles. Lots of them.
Are we in the pantry room still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm immediately I'm hounding down whatever I see in the
You're
pantry.
stress eating.
Okay.
I'm stress eating.
Get 4d6 hit points restored as you eat something. Maybe you pull like a fresh carrot off the vine or something.
This stuff is good, man. Can we just take some of this stuff, man?
Are you doing anything before just wandering around until you get to the sand room?
Got enough food, Fox?
I'm gonna start stuffing my bag with as much food as I can from the pantries.
Okay.
Because Savage is a little embarrassed when Fox looks away, he's gonna sneak another 2 into his pocket.
Okay.
He's just gonna go, okay, real quick.
Fox,
Yeah.
just to be clear, are you over encumbering yourself with food?
No. Only as much as that is reasonable. Okay, I'm not about to be like, food at all costs must carry. I'm
He's now the
gonna be
Michelin man.
As
Okay.
much as fits in the pack comfortably.
He's playing Fallout.
Sure. You cram your pack full of pastries and whatever, and now that's done.
I would imagine it's about the equivalent of about a dozen or 2 donuts.
Okay. While that's happening,
2 dozen donuts?
Well, not donuts. It'd be healthier because of vegetables.
Yeah, but that's
You're grabbing the
just
veggies?
I'm modest about just 2 boxes of a dozen donuts each, just under my arms.
Chad says, when you asked, are you over encumbering yourself with food, I feel called out.
Oh.
All right. While that's happening, we're going to assume that's going to take a little while for you to finish stuffing your stuff with donuts. We're going to come back to Aulen and Zothkug. You're headed down the stairs. You're going to be the first to get to the base of the stairs where Mavira awaits you. Jeb, you're a little bit behind them on the steps. Are you doing anything to get down faster, or are you just walking? Because I know you have some flight options available to you.
I'm going to take a little extra time, and I'm going instead of walking down, if I'm behind cover while on the stairs.
It's just stairs.
Yeah, I'm
Does
okay.
Zoth count as cover?
Does what?
Does Zoth count as cover for Jeb?
He is 7'5". I listened to episode 1 recently.
Sure.
And I was like, holy cow, Zothkug's tall.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop the Thames robes. The Thames clothes
Okay.
and boots, and I'm going to take a minute to pull out my jacket and my hat, because I want Mavira to recognize me. And as he does, Jeb is like bleeding out of his shoulder from the gun wound, and so I'm gonna like try to wrap that up a little bit. And he looks haggard and beat to heck right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I cinch my jacket around, cuff the cuffs up nice and fresh, pull the hat on. Got one
With
bullet wound in the shoulder.
Hole through the hat.
Bullet wound in the hat, bullet wound in the shoulder, and he just cracks his knuckles, and I'm ready to go.
While he's cracking his knuckles, Aulen Woodrear and Zothkug make it to the bottom of the steps. Aulen is in front because he tripped and Zoth caught him and pulled him back onto his feet. So we know Aulen is in front. So Aulen will take the first move of this round of combat, except that there are a few delayed actions we need to manage. So the first thing is that when you are 100 feet away from Mavira, she flips her swords over and drives them into the crystalline ground next to her. So each of them is standing. And then she backs up in what is almost like a ballet type move that Aulen, maybe in your time in the big city, you might have seen performances or whatever. So you kind of recognize like this is a ballet move. This is not a combat move. She does some sort of pirouette into a leap and flings a third scimitar into the air, and it remains there. And then she lands gracefully, grabs both of her swords, flips them both into a ready position, and just kind of takes her stance and waits for you to get in range. The next thing that is a delayed action that gets triggered is going to be Aulen Woodrear, who gets close enough, 15 feet, to draw his weapon.
Yep, so Aulen unholsters this thing that has been teased multiple times and not used in the last, 4 episodes.
Oh?
He pulls out what looks to be like the shape of a flintlock pistol, that you would see like a pirate or something in that sort of media. However, it looks like it's made of like black metallic substance, and there's kind of like cracks through it that shine some orange light, kind of like lava is kind of flowing through the middle of it. He pulls that out. He points it one-handed at Mavira. He drops the pitcher that he was holding and has his other hand on the scimitar of speed. But he points at Mavira, pulls the trigger. As he pulls the trigger, 2 wings that are almost identical to the wings that sprout from Aulen's back when he rages, except these wings are orange, sprout on the top of the flintlock as he pulls the trigger, simultaneously as a 15-foot cone of fire sprays out from the handgun, and Mavira needs to make a dexterity save.
Yeah, she does.
If she fails, she takes 11 points of fire damage. If she succeeds, she takes 5.
Okay.
That's pretty stout.
That's a 15. Plus her mods, so that's going to be a success, right?
Yes, my spell safety DC is 14 for future reference, so yeah.
Great. I just threw my d20 on the ground. But Mavira makes the save, so she leaps backwards out of the way. Another graceful, ballet dance move to avoid your attack. The fire whooshes into the ground, leaving a little bit of a scorch mark, but obviously not really denting or changing the terrain. And then she's going to use a class feature called Riposte. As a reaction to being missed with an attack, she can make a melee attack on you, and if it hits, it deals some extra damage.
Is that considered a miss if she succeeds on a dexterity throw? I guess that is. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I would consider that a miss.
Cool, great.
So she rolls. That's a really good roll. That's an 18 on the die.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, okay. So she hits you with the ice sword, and it deals 18 damage as you feel the cold of it hit before the sword does, and then the sword catches up, and she's now within melee range of you, obviously. Okay. She's kind of met you on maybe the second or the last step. Jeb has a hand up. Jeb, what's up?
Does Aulen have resistance to cold because of the tea?
Yes, Aulen, if you drank the tea, which I can't remember.
Did.
Okay,
He did.
So you have resistance to cold, so you can take half that damage.
Okay, great. So I take 9 damage instead.
Great catch,
okay.
Jeb. And
Good,
that's
yeah,
going to
good
bring
catch.
us to Zothkug's turn in the initiative order, and we are officially in initiative order. So, Zoth,
Cool.
there are 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay, so Zothkug is going to use his Emboldening Bond feature. As an action, you choose up to 3 willing creatures within 30 feet of you, creating a magical bond among them for 10 minutes or until you use this feature again. While any bonded creatures within 30 feet of another once per turn, they can roll a d4 and add it to attack roll, ability check, or saving throw they make.
Nice.
So I'm picking Aulen, me, and Jeb.
Awesome. Jeb, this is Mavira's turn, and then it'll be Jeb's turn. Mavira is going to use her turn. She's already up close with Aulen. She's going to take her full multi-attack because she's within melee range. So she's going to attack you. I didn't have the dice cam up. The first one's a 5, so it misses.
Yep.
I did have the dice cam up. The second attack is a 16. That hits you.
Yep.
16 hits you with that's her offhand attack, so that's her Frostblade again. So that's another 15 damage halved.
Okay.
And that concludes her turn. Actually, she's going to disengage from you. So she's going to step 5 feet back from you, and that will end her turn. Jebediah Peppermint, it is your turn.
Paint me a word picture, please.
All right, you are standing about halfway up a staircase that is as tall as Skull Cavern. So you're probably about 200, maybe 300 shins from Mavira. She is on the second step, and she has met Aulen in combat. So the two of them are sort of brawling on that step. Zothkug is right behind Aulen, maybe with a hand hovering just over his shoulder, having given him some helpful magical assistance recently. That's all that's in the room right now besides the dragon at the center of the room. The dragon is laying motionless and is surrounded by an arcane sigil. That sigil, as we mentioned in the last session, but I maybe haven't mentioned today, is fed by some hot wires that are coming out of the walls.
Where along the walls? Like, are they close to me? Are they far to me on the other side of the cavern?
They are coming from the eye socket and the neck base of the skull, and you are
Okay.
right where the nose would be. So they're pretty, basically exactly to your left and right.
Okay.
And I forgot to put your timer up. That's my bad. I'm putting it up now.
No, it's all right. I'm
Josh.
gonna head
What?
down to the bottom of the staircase.
Okay.
I just want to make everyone aware also, another feature of that is when a creature affected by a Emboldening Bond is about to take damage, a second bonded creature within 30 feet of the first can use its reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the first creature. The second creature then takes all the damage.
Interesting. So you can sacrifice damage for each
Yeah.
other.
As much movement as I can to get to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. On foot?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you make it about a fifth of the way to the base of the stairs. Savage and Fox are still maneuvering their way towards the room, kind of lost in the tangle of other rooms, but you're close. That will bring us back around to Aulen.
Okay. Aulen is going to, in one smooth motion, holster the gun. Suddenly, and his other hand is on the Scimitar of Speed. Between the holstering and the grabbing of the Scimitar of Speed, suddenly rage forms in his eyes, lightning shoots out of his eyes, and a stormy cloud appears basically around him. And so he uses bonus action to rage. And so because Mavira is within 10 feet of me, she must make a saving throw, and if she fails, she'll take 1d6 lightning damage. DC
Which save?
13. Dexterity save again.
Dexterity save. That's
and-
6.
Okay, so that fails. Takes 2 lightning damage
Okay.
as I rage.
I'm just making sure my dice are visible.
You're good.
Okay, takes 2 lightning damage as you rage.
So then after the rage, draws the Scimitar of Speed, and then uses his multi-attack.
Great.
So first attack is 11. I assume that's a miss.
Yes.
Next attack is a 17.
Does not hit.
Dang.
She dances out of reach again. And
Okay.
again, she's not using combat maneuvers. She's using ballet steps.
And then just as a how often do I get to use that 1d4, Zothkug? Just
Once per turn.
Once per turn. And can I use it on an attack roll?
I believe so.
Can I retroactively do that, or did I just miss my opportunity?
I'm gonna let you retroactively do it because you guys.
Okay, I'll add it. I'll add it to the 17.
Okay.
Okay, that only added a 1, so now it's an 18.
Attackers win in a tie.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
There we go.
That attack does 8 damage.
Chat has cast Bless on Aulen.
Woo!
Bless
Sweet.
gives you 1d4 that you can add before rolling to a roll.
Okay, so I have multiple 1d4s I can add to my next turn.
Yes.
Great.
You got all the d4s. Remind me her damage.
8 magical slashing damage.
8 magical slashing damage. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
That is the end of Alan's turn.
Okay. You slash across her with rage in your eyes, and she looks directly back into your eyes without even flinching and goes, "Try harder." Zothkug, your turn.
Zothkug will cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action.
Okay.
She's within 60 feet of me, right?
Yes, she would be within 60 feet of you.
So then a spectral quarterstaff will appear behind her. And then I can make an attack with it. Does this count as flanking?
Yes, sure.
Oh. Wow. 2 19s. I got 27 to hit.
27 to hit, that hits.
It's gonna deal 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay, you hit her in the back of the head with a quarterstaff. She kind of grunts and takes a step forward, but still it doesn't seem to have really thrown her off her stride or anything like that. She seems pretty cool and collected.
My bonus action. And then my normal action will be Sacred Flame. She needs to make a dex save of 16.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading the description of the spell.
Yep.
She rolled a 13.
Okay, that fails, so she is going to take 11 damage.
11 damage.
Radiant, specifically, if that matters.
Okay. She takes 11 points of damage.
And that's my turn.
She brings her 2 swords up in the air and then jumps so that she is airborne with both swords and crosses them. And as she crosses them, the scimitar that she flung into the air earlier slices forwards in like a straight line spinning boomerang towards Zothkug. And it's going to roll an attack against you.
No!
Zoth, that's a 13 to hit. Does a 13 hit you?
No, it does not.
Okay, the sword lances towards you, but from your higher vantage point on the stairs, you see it coming and you're able to kind of duck out of the way. At the same time as she does that, however, she is going to attack Aulen. First attack is an 18.
That hits.
Second one's a 21.
That also hits.
Okay, so she hits you with both swords. The first one deals 17 fire damage.
Halved to...
That's fire damage.
Yeah. Fire.
You don't have fire resistance, do you?
You're right.
And then the next one deals 15 cold damage, which would get halved to
17 plus 7 is 24.
24.
Okay.
Then she's going to... She's going to spend her action surge to attack you again.
Oh dear.
She doesn't have to do that.
But
if she doesn't want to, you know.
That's a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one misses you. So it's only one more hit. So that's with the flame brand, her dominant hit.
Dang.
So that's another 17 damage that she deals.
Ouch.
As she's basically...
Aulen looks like this last turn took it out of him. Like what just happened got him good.
She after using her action surge, she just kind of like crouches down, looks up at you, and goes, "There's always time to flee." That brings us to Zothkog's turn. Your 30 seconds are on the clock.
Is going to heal Aulen with a Cure Wounds. Or 13 health.
Okay, sounds great.
And then he's going to move, as a bonus action, move the spiritual weapon to behind Mavira again.
Okay.
And we'll hit with a 23.
23, that'll hit. Yep, go ahead and roll damage.
Dealing 13 radiant damage.
13
Nice.
radiant damage.
And then... Am I, like, if I move out of range, will I provoke opportunity?
No, because Aulen is between you and her.
Okay, then I would like to move away from her threat level.
You can
but...
only go up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're low enough that you could probably make the jump. It would only be 10 feet or less. So yeah, you could jump down without taking fall damage.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, you jump off the stairs and you roll a d12.
Ooh.
Ewy.
Are they on like a dais or something in the middle?
No, it's just the base of the cavern.
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2. You jump off of the stairs into the stone cavern, and you land on some kind of bright white cotton material. Mavira and Aulen are gone. The sound of birds chirping happily as they fly past you upside down sort of swirls around you, almost immersing you in the noises, and the temperature is suddenly pleasantly warm, and a hint of a breeze stirs the leaves of the pot on your back. Below you, the bright sun reflects playfully off of the ocean that kind of lines the sky above you, and then bounces back down to dance among what you realize are clouds at your feet. In the center of the room, bound by an arcane sigil, there is a tall woman clothed in armor of woven storm cloud, with nearly translucent pale skin. She lies unconscious at the center of this arcane trap, and her long wavy hair and freckles literally glow with golden starlight. Around her, a number of small plants and animals are crowded, confused as to why she won't wake up to have tea with them. We cut to Mavira's turn. Wait, that can't...
Get a turn?
No, it would be my turn. Or Jeb's turn and then my turn.
You're
I would
right.
think.
It would be Jeb's turn and then your turn.
What's my range?
You're still like probably 200 shins away. Something like that.
Dang it.
Long staircase.
Wow. And I just saw Zoth do what?
Zoth hopped off the staircase, landed on the ground, but as he
The staircase
landed,
that I'm on?
yeah, but as he landed on the ground, I mean, he's way further down than you, but he
Yeah.
hopped off the stairs, and as he landed on the base of the cavern, instead of landing, his body kind of shimmered weirdly and vanished, and where he ought to have landed, there's like a small puff of cloud that is already fading away.
And Aulen is where?
Aulen is still on the staircase.
Fighting Mavira.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
on like the second or third stair. They're like, actually in combat.
Is this like a spiral staircase?
No, it's a straight staircase.
Straight. Okay, so it's all right.
It's just a really freaking tall staircase.
For some reason, I was envisioning a spiral staircase, and I'm like, what the heck is even everything? Okay.
I just started your 30 seconds, so we
Thank
can
you.
get the word picture.
Could I get within 120 feet by my next turn?
Yes. If
All
you
right, then I'm
dash
good.
this turn, you would be within
Yeah, I'm
150.
dashing this turn too.
Okay, you're just running down the stairs. You're
Running
doing
down the
what you're
stairs.
doing.
Can I make it a little further if I like skip steps for like an acrobatics check or something?
Sure, skip steps and roll acrobatics. That's a totally valid way to do it.
That is 13.
Okay. I forgot to set a DC, so we're just going to roll a D20, and if it's lower than 13, you make it. It was a 17. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, skipping steps is a risky endeavor, and
Yep.
instead of quite making it, you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Just as you're like tripping and catching yourself and kind of skidding along, you still get the benefit of the speed, so you are closer. You just
Gotcha.
you take a little bit of damage from like maybe you bang your ankle or something like that on the way down there. At this point in time, Fox, you have just entered the staircase. Fox is not in Fox's chair. Savage, you've just entered the staircase, and ahead of you, skipping, flying almost, with his coat trailing behind him, is Jebediah, and then at the base of the staircase is Aulen Wadrir locked in combat. You stand at the top of the stairs, the dim green light filtering into the room from the ocean above.
Fuck, we gotta get down there.
Fox can no longer hear you. He's behind you in the room with the sand, still writing his name with his feet.
Oh crap. Well that just defeats my purpose. Okay. I'm gonna yell down to Jeb. Jeb! I'm here! Fox and I are both here!
Jeb, this is why you take those 2 points of damage. You turned around to look back at Savage, and it like you bang your ankle a
Amazing.
little bit.
Yeah, I roll and tumble a little bit and catch myself. Lady with the swords, the icy sword, fire sword, make her die.
See? Okay! Fox, hurry!
Do I see him like yelling that
He's
silently?
he's like gesticulating wildly on the other side of the wall as you like you're like calmly in this room where you're like writing your name in the ground with your feet in the sand, and it's warm and sunny, and then on the other side is Savage on the stairs like yelling back at you.
All right, I pick up the pace a little, seeing
Okay.
the gesticulation. Yes.
Yeah.
Has Fox come through? Sorry, I'm kind of waiting.
It's your
till
turn.
Fox
We're in
gets-
initiative order, but you've already kind of spent your 30 seconds. So what that means is your character. I'm gonna pause the game here really
Good.
quick to explain again for Savage. So I put 30 seconds on the timer for you to ask me any questions you want, for us to resolve what the scene looks like, and then you tell me what your character does by the end of those 30 seconds. If not, I don't like screw you over. You take the dodge action, which is just like basically making yourself extra safe from bad guys, and they have to work extra hard to hit you. But it's like in real combat where you're like, I'm going to take a couple seconds and just size up the field of battle.
Gotcha. I didn't know if we had entered the combat part yet, but all right. At this point, then I'm done because I'm waiting for Fox to come through first.
All right, you're waiting for Fox to come through, and that brings us to Aulen is next in initiative order.
Okay. Aulen's goal in this turn is to hit Savage's, or not Savage, bless, sorry.
Hey,
hit
Please don't hit
Mavira.
Savage.
Savage and Mavira are both like equally sinister names. His goal is to hit Mavira as many times as possible before Mavira knocks him out. He's doing damage. Okay. So he's gonna take 3 attacks because he has his 2 attacks plus bonus action attack from the Scimitar of Speed.
Okay.
First attack, he is gonna add the D4 from Bless onto that attack, for his attack roll. So this is 14 plus 8 is 22 plus 1 is 23 for that.
23 damage or to hit?
To hit.
Okay,
so
that hits. Also, chat has just cast Blade Ward on you for the next 3 rounds. You have resistance against sword things, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
I already have that from Rage, but I appreciate that. So does that... Yeah. That doesn't do much because I'm already raging.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really do much. I'll refund chat's points, though. It was very benevolent of me.
No, yeah, I appreciate it, Belly. All right, so now this next roll, I'm adding the D4 from the cool spell well, no, does that spell stay because Zoth is no longer in 30 feet? He
is within 30 feet of you.
Oh, okay. Interesting to know. Okay, so that is 16 plus 8, which is like over 20, so I assume that's another hit.
Yep.
Okay, last attack. So we have 2 hits out of the 3 attacks. Last attack is a 19 plus 8, 27. So all 3 hit.
Okay, all 3 attacks hit.
I'll just roll total damage if that's okay, just to make the math easier. Cool.
Absolutely.
All right. So 4 plus 5 plus 3 is 12 plus 15 is 27. 27 damage through those 3 attacks. That is all slashing, but it's a magical weapon. So
great. Magic-y slashy damage.
Aulen just took a ton of damage. Then Zoth gave him a little bit of strength back, and he used that strength just to 3 slices in a row.
Got it. As you deal that last attack...
Wait, no, I need to add my rage damage. +6.
Okay.
20 or 33 damage. There you go.
Ooh.
Got him.
It hits.
There we go.
All right, it has been marked. As you deal that last damage, you for the first time see an actual cut appear on Mavira's arm. You have bloodied her in combat. She looks down at it, looks back up at you, and goes, "Now you really upset me." And she drops both of her elemental weapons and summons a great sword of radiant energy. The radiant great sword fills her hands, and she spins in like a graceful ballet move, and she enters her multi-attack. Let me put my dice roller up here. The first attack...
I really hope she's not very accurate here.
The first one's a 21.
That hits.
Dang.
The second one is a 19.
That also hits.
Oh.
And the final one is a natural 1.
Oh.
Come on, confirm.
Confirmed
Yeah!
natural 1.
Okay.
All right, so she hits you twice and then has a natural 1. The two attacks...
There's a low chance I'm still standing, I
The
will
two
say.
attacks that hit you both deal 20 damage.
Yeah, so
So-
I am no longer standing. I am knocked out.
Okay, so that's 40 damage to knock you to the ground. As the radiant sword hits Aulen, each time these flares of kind of latent energy just lance off the blow. And then as she goes for the final one, Aulen is already falling, and she overcommits to the strike and actually swings the sword in such a way where it kind of juts back and hits her. And so she ends up actually scratching herself with that radiant sword for 10 points of damage. That brings us in initiative order to Zothkug.
Can I
Go ahead.
see stairs?
There are no stairs where you are now.
Could I go back to where the stairs are and see if I could get on them? Like this is just sort of an illusion.
Yeah, so you take a step and you roll a d12.
Oop-a-doop. Oh. 2.
A 2. You take a step, and as you take a step, the clouds and the lady in the center of the sigil fade away, and you suddenly find yourself watching Aulen fall to the ground, as Mavira, who's dropped her 2 elemental swords, is now wielding this massive greatsword of radiant energy.
Okay, I am going to cast a spell. Can I get to Aulen with movement?
Yeah, you're like right next to him, because you only hopped
Okay,
off
cool.
the steps, so...
So
you're-
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Okay.
And he is going to heal 17.
Love it.
Heals 17, and at the same time, it seems like something begins to, like, afflict Mavira strangely, like some kind of minor hex has been cast on her. By the chat.
And then I'm going to bonus action move my spiritual weapon to behind her and attack her with that.
Okay, as a reminder, this is not... I guess this is still flanking because she's not looking, so you're fine. I was going to say,
Okay.
Aulen has fallen, so she's not in combat, but you're behind her still, so it's okay. Go ahead.
A 19 to hit.
A 19 hits.
So that's going to deal 6 damage.
Okay, that deals 6 damage to her. Anything else? I guess that's your whole turn, right?
That's my whole turn.
Okay, so you deal 6 points of damage to her, and that brings us to the top of initiative order. So, Savage, it is your turn. You're still on the stairs. You've got 30 seconds. The timer's on the screen.
Has Fox entered the stairwell yet?
No, he's about to.
Oh my gosh.
Initiative order do be tough.
All right. At this point, I'm gonna cast Longstrider on myself.
Okay.
I was gonna wait for him, but I'm just gonna cast Longstrider on myself and dip down the steps as fast as I can.
That gives you, what, 4 times your normal speed? Is that right?
Yeah. Speed increases by 10 feet for an
Oh, okay.
hour.
Got it. I think I was thinking of something else that gave you, like, double dash. That's okay. So you sprint down the stairs. You make it about a third of the way down to where you can
Wait.
join the combat. Wait.
My next. Oh, sorry.
No,
Never
go
mind.
ahead.
Too late. I was gonna say is my passing Jeb.
You will not pass Jeb yet. He's ahead of you.
Okay, never mind. Then my turn's over.
Okay, Jeb, it is your turn.
I see Aulen go down.
Yep. And Zoth reappear.
And Zoth reappear. Did I see Zoth heal Aulen?
Yes.
Okay, so Aulen is laying down.
Yeah, Aulen is eyes open, but laying like on his back, basically.
Yep.
And
Kind of against the
Mavira
stairs.
is further down the steps.
Yeah, she's 2 steps further down than him.
How tall is this room, this cavern?
It's real big.
Real big.
Real big. Probably 700 or 800 shins tall.
All right, I'm gonna move my full movement, and I'm going to magic missile this Bizzle.
Okay. You do that.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I'm grabbing dice. Hot dang! 10 points of force damage in her face.
Nice.
10 points of force face damage. Excellent. You just hit her. She starts to kind of be buffeted by the magic missiles that you're sending in her direction. And then it is Fox's turn. Fox, you've just stepped through the gateway and onto the stairs.
All right. So just world picture here. I'm on the top of the stairs.
Word picture.
And-
You're at the top of the stairs looking down into Skull Cavern. At the center of Skull Cavern, there's a dragon in the sigil. About halfway between that center point and the wall where you're standing is the base of the stairs. At the base of the stairs there, Aulen is laying on his back but has been healed by Zoth, who's right next to him. Mavira is standing there with the spiritual weapon of Zothkug's behind her, and Jeb shooting magic missile at her from in front of her. Ahead of you, Savage is sprinting down the steps, so your line of sight is obstructed by like 3 people before you could actually attack Mavira, but you can still see her down there, like just.
And
looking
how
over
far
both
away?
sides. About 300 shins.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and sprint at my full speed, and dash as far as I can go.
Okay.
Which I can take dash as a bonus action, right?
Yes, dash is a
So you
bonus.
can get. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because that's a rogue thing, I think.
So that gets me what? A speed of 30.
So dash would be 60. Double dash would put you at 120.
Okay.
So that puts you about a third of the way down the stairs. So you catch
I
up
am
to Savage.
going.
You and Savage are now running next to each other on the steps. And that brings us to Aulen's turn. Aulen, you're laying prone. Reminder, it's half your move speed to stand.
Yeah, Aulen is gonna. Aulen's role here is to stand back up and to swing 3 more times. So Aulen's gonna. Wait, no. Well, he doesn't have rage anymore, and that's okay. He lost his rage when he got sent down, so he no longer
Raging
has
a bonus
his.
action.
It is, but the third attack is also a bonus action. Right now, Aulen's going to prioritize the third attack.
Okay.
Raging gives you half damage, just FYI.
I already have.
resistance.
She doesn't use slashing. She's using like
Radiant.
and stuff like that. So it's not as big of a benefit this time.
Yep.
So, all right, Aulen is going to do his 3 attacks. He stands back up, looking very injured and stuff. He looks. This whole time, Mavira's been doing bad guy quips, and Aulen stands back up, looks Mavira in the eye, and says, "I'm tired of you," and swings 3 more times.
Okay.
Oh.
So first one is a 23.
Hits.
Second one is a 15, so that misses.
Yep.
Third one is a 12, so that misses.
So you only hit on the first one.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to use my D4. Do I get forgiveness one more time?
I'll give it to you on the 15. The 12, even with a 4, wouldn't have passed her AC, so it wouldn't have been worth it.
So the 15, I only rolled a 2, so it would still miss.
Yeah, so it still misses.
All right, so my 1 hit is still 12 damage.
12 damage. And as you hit her, she rolls with the practiced ease of a fighter with the hit, and that's why the other ones don't hit her. She's able to kind of like spin out of reach, and oh, he's back up again, and so she kind of backs off a little bit. She backflips into the like further into the room, basically, finally seating the base of the stairs to you. She rolls a d12, and vanishes from sight as she backflips away from you.
As Zothkug did. Okay.
That brings us to... actually, that brings us to her turn. So she vanishes from sight. Nobody can see her, but she does do some stuff. She also rolls another d12 because she moves at all. And she does not reappear.
Interesting.
That brings us to Zothkug's turn. Zoth, you got 30 seconds.
Zothkug is going to heal Aulen again, but using a different feature. He's going to use his Channel Divinity Balm of Peace. As an action, you can move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks when you move. Within 5 feet of any other creature during this action, you can restore 2d6 plus 5 to that creature. And you can receive this only once whenever I take this action.
Nice.
Cool.
So Aulen is going to heal. 11 damage.
Sweet.
And then I'm going to move my quarterstaff to behind me and ready the attack, where if she's in 5 feet of it, it will attack her.
Okay. That brings us to Savage Tempest's turn.
All right. And me and Fox and I are about how far away from Jeb? Because I guess he's in front of us.
You could make it to Jeb this turn.
Okay. Can we pick past Jeb? Is it possible to make it down to the bottom?
The stairs are not wide enough to pass.
Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna meet. I'm gonna go ahead and just meet up with Jeb, dash to Jeb, just to group up with everybody. Because now I guess I can see that the immediate danger has left the room, so it gives me time to get down to him to recuperate.
Okay. That brings us to Jeb's turn. Jeb, Savage has caught up with you.
Hey, wow, you guys move faster than me. How far away am I where I last saw Mavira?
If you dash this turn, you'll make it to where she was.
But like, for the purposes of casting spells, I know you're like approximating it, but like about how far am I away from her? 100 feet.
Or shins, if you will.
All right, I would like to get within 60 feet of where I last saw her.
Okay.
And I'm going to ready an action when I see her next.
Okay.
You see Jeb twist a little something on his blunderbuss,
and what action are you readying?
I am going to ready a momentary stasis.
Cool. That brings us to Fox's turn.
Well, how far away was Mavira for me currently, where I was running along?
She would be about the same distance as from Savage. So, like, if you take another, like, if you do your double dash thing again, you're within 100 shins of her.
But she disappeared.
But she's gone. Yeah, that's just from where you last saw her.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll just catch up to Jeb then.
Okay.
Hey, pup.
What
you
okay?
You so long? Yeah, I see you guys made it down the other one.
Yeah, I had a plan, and it worked.
Well, it looks like it worked. Yeah, you're here. Good job.
Brings us to Aulen Woodrear's turn.
Okay, Aulen is going to briefly talk to Zothkug. What happened when you stepped down there? Did you get teleported somewhere?
Yes, I saw the cloud and
Oh, the thing we saw earlier in the cavern?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to take a step down and attempt to make my way closer to the dragon. If I get teleported to where Mavira is, I'll attack her and defend what I need to defend, but I think this is just a one step at a time kind of situation. I'll try to signal what happens when I'm in the same reality as you, I guess. And
Josh,
Aulen... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Would it be possible for me to step with Aulen?
Sure. Your initiative orders are pretty close.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, I say let's step together and see where it takes us.
Each of you roll a d12.
Okay.
I'm going to clear the tension pool.
8.
Shoot. Gotta do a thing.
7.
Okay. Both of you, as you step forward, step onto cloud. It is sunny here. There are birds chirping pleasantly, flying upside down past you as the sun from beneath you rises up and the light playfully glints off of the sea that stretches over your heads. At the center of the room, well, it's not a room anymore, it's a cloud, but at the center of the cloud is a sigil with this woman laying in it, imprisoned. And as you step in, you see Mavira poof out of existence from wherever you are. She has disappeared.
Okay, Aulen is gonna take whatever left of movement he has, try to get to the arcane sigils and try to start using his scimitar to like deface them from where they're at. Similar to what had to happen with Garlel. He's gonna say he's just gonna tell Zothkug, remember what we had to do with Garlel, and I think we stay on this side and destroy what we can, and then get to the other, and then do what we have to do to free her and take out Mavira. Does that make sense?
Yes. So Zothkug will follow.
Okay, so you can take your full move action, which, since you're not fighting this turn, is a dash action. That gets you about halfway to the sigil. So this round,
okay.
That's how much ground you've covered. So you're most of the way there, basically. We cut back into Skull Cavern, where Jeb, Fox, and Savage are all standing together on the stairs. Jeb, you're looking right at the spot where Mavira was, waiting for her to reappear. You've got your time stasis prepared. Unfortunately, she doesn't appear in that spot. So what I need from you is a perception check, because you're actively looking for her to reappear, and I'm going to oppose it with a stealth check from her.
All right, she just needs to be within 60 feet of me, but I get what you're saying. Like as long as she hasn't moved that far away.
She took a full double dash action, so...
Yeah. So, like, I mean, if she moves out of 60 feet, then this doesn't even matter, but...
Yeah.
17.
17. So you do not notice her as she reappears right away. You're still going to trigger your prepared action, but she's going to use her action first, because this is her round in initiative order anyway. So she reappears between Savage and Fox with her radiant greatsword, and she spins in a graceful pirouette and tries to slash at both of you. To attack you, for Fox, she rolls an 11.
That 11.
And for Savage, she
does not
rolls
hit her.
a nat 20.
Ooh.
Gonna roll to confirm. It confirms. So Savage takes 30 points of damage. As she, I'm sorry, 40 points of damage, because it's 20 points of radiant damage is the normal attack for this. So you take 40 points of damage as she just cleaves into your shoulder with this great sword. She's going to, actually you are going to roll either a strength save or a dexterity save, whichever you're better at, to keep your balance on the stairs and avoid being knocked off and taking some fall damage from being dropped down the rest of the way.
18 for dexterity.
18. You are able to keep your balance barely as she slashes into you with this thing. She's now so close to you that you can smell her breath. You can see her teal, pupilless eyes as she stares deep into Fox's face. Fox, having narrowly jumped over the blade of her radiant greatsword as it slashed towards her, she readies up and uses her action surge and attacks Fox again. Oh, whoops.
Easy?
That's a 17 to hit Fox.
Jesus. That hits.
She hits you for 20 points of radiant damage as she slams this radiant greatsword into you. And it is not hard enough to like dislodge you off the steps. But again, she's up close, staring deep into your eyes, and she looks towards you, and she whispers, "Don't blink." Fox, make a wisdom save.
Bruh. Okay. Who? 14?
Fox, you hear a familiar voice in the back of your head.
No.
It tells you
No.
to attack not Mavira, but Savage.
Nah!
And that concludes Mavira's turn, which means Jeb's prepared action stasis triggers.
She needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 19 on the die, plus...
No, she succeeds.
Okay,
She had to beat a 15.
gotcha.
So like the time chromatic aberration like wisps around her, but it doesn't take hold. Is it my turn now, or is it?
It's about to be Savage and then you.
Okay.
But as the chromatic aberration and all that stuff kind of circles around her, you see other weird magical stuff happen. Like a puff of flowers kind of shoots through the air, and then a few raindrops fall as well in the same spot. And that brings us to Savage's turn. I'm going to give you 90 seconds because I feel bad because you're new to D&D.
And he's getting beat up.
Well, yeah, also that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Can I do a perception check to see if Fox is actually kind of out of it right now? Like kind of like see that he's just not to be.
Fox, are you above or below half your hit points?
I'm above.
Okay, Fox doesn't look too badly beat up yet. Like he's
not like that. No, I'm talking like, does he seem in the right mind?
Oh yes, he seems fine.
Okay. And is Mavira facing me, or is she like...
Mavira's facing Fox right now, which means that you're flanking, so you have
perfect.
advantage if you attack her.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out both my my short swords.
Okay.
And attack, but then I also have a... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I read this earlier. You can attack twice whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay. Yep, so you attack with both short swords.
Okay,
swing, swing.
So I would roll it 4 times then, right? So I would roll it twice originally, but now I'm attacking twice, right? So.
Yeah, but
yes.
both times you take you roll twice, you take the higher of that. That's the one that you take. Then you roll twice again, take the higher of those two. That's the one that you take.
Gotcha. All right, so I got 18 on the first roll.
Hits.
For the best of 2. Yeah. Cool. And then I got 19.
Yep, both of those attacks hit.
All right. Word, and then they're gonna go for my D6. I rolled this twice, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you hit
so
her
the first
twice.
First one is a 7,
Okay.
and the next one is an 8.
Okay. Did you add your damage to that? Like there's a plus something? It'll be written on your character. Okay, great.
Yeah,
That's what I added to.
You
Yep.
couldn't have rolled a 7 or an 8 with just a D6.
You're right. That's how math is. You're right. Good work. You slash
Thanks.
into her twice, and you see you've drawn blood with both cuts. Like, both of them slash through, like, basically her shoulder blades and leave, like, these red scratches. Now it is Jebediah Peppermint's turn.
How far is she from me, and how far is her flying scimitar from me?
She is maybe 10 feet from you at the most, because Savage is between you, and her flying scimitar is dancing at the base of the stairs still where she was.
Okay, and that's like 90 feet away or something.
Yeah, that's a long way away.
Yeah. All right. Wow, things keep changing a whole bunch, guys. So I'm gonna pull out the lodestone, smash it on my chest, cast fly, and I'm gonna shoot straight up into the air, 25 feet. 25 feet. And then Jeb cranks the blunderbuss barrel, and normally it goes to like a blue because he shoots like this cold out of it. But as he twists it, he like pulls it out of the socket a little bit and twists it some more, and there's that chromatic aberration, and the blue shifts down into red, and it kind of like focuses in, and he shoots a firebolt at her just like this piercing. That's a 16 plus 7 to hit. That's like a 23 or something like that. And that does 2d10 fire damage to her. That's 7 fire damage to her.
7 fire damage. Okay. You hit her with 7 fire damage. So, Savage, you slash her twice, and as she's turning around to look at you, from somewhere up above you, like you didn't even notice in your concentration, this just, like, firebolt kind of smashes down onto her and kind of surrounds her shoulders and her head and her back in flame.
Oh, is it back to me?
No, now it is Fox's turn.
Okay.
I'm just describing what you saw. Fox, it's your turn now. Mavira has not fully turned away from you, so you're not technically flanking.
Oh,
I guess he's flanking, so for you it doesn't matter.
yeah, because he's next to her, right?
Yeah.
And I'm next to her.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're both next to her, we're next to her.
Yeah. Very good.
Yay!
All right. But does the familiar voice decide what I do?
Yes. The familiar voice gives you orders that you are compelled to follow. And the familiar voice has told you to attack Savage.
Damn it.
Ass throw dirt.
And Savage is next to Mavira.
Yep, Savage is on the other side of Mavira from you.
So if I move next to Savage, that means another quote-unquote friendly creature is next to Savage.
Yes, it does.
Or Savage.
Okay. I'll pull up my daggers, and I will go for a swipe with the dagger against Savage.
Okay. Mavira ducks underneath of your swipe to clear the path for you.
Oh, well, it'd be advantage, right?
It would be advantage.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. This is Savage. Please tell me you have a decent AC, because all right. I rolled a 7 on the die. All right, and add my modifiers. That should be a 10. Does 10 hit?
No, it does not. Woo! Let's go.
All right, Fox.
Oh.
You can see the struggle in his face as he swings at you.
And I'm like looking back at you, just full on eyes open, like my life is flashing before my eyes.
What the fuck, bro? Yeah, no.
What do?
Then yeah, my sneak attack doesn't matter then. Can I do anything else?
You don't get a save unless you take damage.
No, I meant
to break
like
the
to
channel.
attack him.
Oh.
Because I feel like I gotta take my full ability to attack,
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think I can, but if you notice anything, tell me otherwise.
I'll let you know if I think of anything you missed. I don't think there is besides movement.
No.
But there's not really any movement available to you on the stairs. So, Jeb, you obviously see this happening too.
Uh-oh.
Let's see, and that brings us to Aulen's turn. Aulen, you and Zoth are sprinting for the draconic lady.
Yep, the goal is to get there and deface the sigils, like the symbols of the sigil.
And as you take your first step this round, you roll a d12.
Ooh. All right. That's not
7.
Me.
A 7. You take a step and you are back in Skull Cavern, running towards... It's still there, like there's still sigils, but this is a dragon now, a gargantuan moonstone dragon. And the hot wires are attached to the sigils, and you're running towards it, and that's all happening.
Well, yeah, since Alan's already committed to this course of action, I think he's going to stick with it.
You do the full dash and make it this round, but don't have any attacks. Unless, I guess, if you have a bonus action, you can do.
I do. I can Scimitar of Speed bonus action attack.
There you go. There it is.
Do I have to roll anything for it, or is it just like you take the time to try to scratch out this symbol?
You get to roll a Constitution save.
Oh, what? Okay. That's lame, Josh. 23.
23. Okay, you are able to complete your attack, but you hit like significant resistance as you're attacking the sigil.
Interesting.
And it's like it's only because the scimitar is so fast and you are so strong that you're able to actually hit it.
Okay.
And you are able to get down there, deal some damage. How much damage do you do? How much damage?
Damage. Let us see. 8 damage.
8 damage. You hit it and sparks fly, but you don't actually. Again, this just like the last one. This is carved into the crystalline floor, so it's going to take more than one hit to actually deface it. But sparks fly up, and you can tell that it is working similarly to how the last one did.
Okay.
That brings us to Mavira's turn. Mavira, who is no longer concerned about Fox, is going to turn away from Fox, and she's going to make a dex or an athletics check with a DC of 15. She rolled a 15 on the die, so she definitely passed it, to leap into the air and use Fox as a springboard to leap towards Jeb, who used Firebolt on her.
I am going to use my reaction to do a chronal shift and force her to re-roll that.
She rolls a 12 on the die, plus her strength of 9.
Dang it.
Oh, no, wait, that's her save. Her strength is plus 5. 12 plus 5, it's still more than 15, though. So she makes the jump and rushes towards you and rolls to attack with her greatsword.
25 feet? Wow.
2 on the die, plus her attack mod. Well, what's your AC? Because I don't know that this is possible.
My AC is currently 12.
Yeah, her to hit is plus 6, so that's an 8 total to attack you. So she leaps towards you, and even though you try chronal shift, you're like able to still kind of just like, you're up a little higher than she expected, or you swerve backwards a little bit, or in some way you maneuver past her. But her sneering face is so close that it like really gives you like your heart skips a beat a little bit as the sword whoosh, whiffs right past you. She then begins making the fall towards the ground underneath her because she's just leapt off the staircase to attack you. She is going to roll an acrobatics with a DC of 18 to have the fall damage. She rolled a 10 on the die, plus her acrobatics is a plus 9. That's a 19. She rolled it. So she takes half damage from all that falling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 66. Some of those you can't see. Sorry, chat. They're all in here. We got 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 3 is 21, plus 5 is 26. She takes 26 points of fall damage as she lands in what's honestly a pretty graceful roll on the ground, all things considered. But it's still like, it knocks the greatsword from her hand just right next to her, and she like has to kind of take a second. She lands prone, so she'll have to take half her move speed the next round to pick herself up. Of course, we also need to consider that she's just moved on the ground of Skull Cavern, so she's going to roll a d12. And I'm going to roll it one off camera because my dice tower's full.
It's intense, guys.
She vanishes as she hits the ground. Which brings us to Zothkug's turn. Zoth, Aulen took one step towards the sigil and disappeared just as behind you hear an abnormally loud thud and kind of like a grunt, and you look backwards and Mavira has landed not near you. She's about 100, your full dash behind you, about 120 feet back. But she's at the base of the steps, or where they would be, and she's kind of picking herself up.
You say?
Yes, 120 feet, I say.
Well, that's a very specific number.
That just happens to be the range of Guiding Bolt.
Ooh, does it now?
It does. I'm gonna cast it at 4th level.
That's gonna be really guided.
So much guidance was employed on this bolt.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, first I have to roll to hit. Hopefully it hits.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, I got you.
Big sad. It won't hit. That will be a 10.
No, it does not hit. It soars over her head because she doesn't stand up. You expected her to like leap back up into her ready stance, but she doesn't. She takes a second to kind of like rest on the ground. And you realize looking at her that she's pretty significantly bloodied and hurt at this point.
Let me see. I don't think I have anything I can do on my bonus action then. No. Okay, so then I will move towards the sigils like Alan did.
All right, roll a d12.
Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Oh, there we go. 6.
A 6. I've been
You're
so ready for a
excited.
6 all night.
What's special about a 6?
Silence. You take one step forward and you find yourself in an... It's almost like the clouds that were at your feet have raised up to surround you, a strange white mist in all directions. You find yourself... You're half in... You can sort of see the topography of Skull Cavern, and overlaid on it, you can sort of see the cloud that you were standing on, but mostly what you see is away in the distance, maybe 600 or 700 shins from you, you can see a huge gray ocean lapping at the shore of this white sort of void that you stand in. And in front of you, where the alternatingly sort of moon-like lady or the moonstone dragon has been, in front of you, there is a pulsing violet amulet sitting at the center of the sigil with arcane streaks basically kind of thrown through it. And the pulsing, even as you're watching, the pulsing gets dimmer and dimmer. It's you have your full move action, so you can reach the edge of this sigil in this turn.
I will head towards the sigil then.
You head towards the sigil, and when you make it to the edge of that area, that's your full dash action, but you can still, if you want to do some observation or whatever, like if you want to roll a couple of those types of skills, you can, soft skills, if you will.
Yes, I would like to roll either perception or arcana to figure out, or I guess arcana to figure out like what this is and magic-y stuff about it. That is a 16.
16. You identify a couple things. First, you are in the border ethereal. You are in the place where the ethereal plane sort of meets with the material plane.
Mm-hmm.
Second, the thing you're looking at is what's called a soul crystal. And all gemstone dragons have a soul crystal that anchors their magic to whatever plane of existence they're on. And this one you're watching has actually been impaled by some other sort of magic. And that magic has sort of woven its way in, and that's why the light is getting dimmer and dimmer. And you know, just from your understanding of this sort of thing, that if it's left unchecked, even if you rescue the dragon, the poison will remain. Like this arcane thing has made it into the being of the dragon. It's no longer an external trap. It's now more like an internal poison. And you, in the past, the way something like this would be healed would be similar to a very extreme curse, in that you would take it to a temple and there would be a ritual and many clerics would contribute, and it would take divine energy to undo this kind of arcane corruption. Unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot of divine energy available to you right now. You're not sure of any alternative solutions at this moment in time, but that's what you're able to learn about it. Thus, we conclude Zothkug's turn, and we hop back to Savage Tempest. Savage Tempest, you are on the stairs. You're about, a third of the way up the stairs from the base of the cavern. Mavira has just leapt off of you towards Jeb to attack him, and so she is now the whole way at the base of the stairs. She is not next to you. And as far as you can tell, Jeb has not, repositioned or begun a new attack. He's still kind of suspended in the air where he was.
Is Mavira still in the other plane?
Yes, she.
Okay.
You're right. She landed and went into the other place, the cloudy place. However, you also have Fox, who's 2 steps above you, who recently attacked you with daggers, and it's your turn.
All right, another question. Is this voice in Fox's quote unquote, is this something that lasts, or is that like it?
You don't know.
Oh god.
You don't know there's a voice in his head. He just attacked you.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm gonna go like, what the heck, man? Why'd you swing that at me? And then I'm gonna freak out on him. But the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of like, I guess I want to back up. But I want to pull out that healing potion that he gave me earlier at the beginning and just chug it.
It is a potion of superior healing. You recover 8d4 plus 8 hit points.
8d4.
See you guys next stream while we wait for 8d4 to be rolled and added up, because that's how D&D math works.
Math rocks to the rescue.
Roll 200 d2s.
And then whatever that is plus 8, right?
Yes.
Word. I got 30.
Oh,
Nice.
so good.
That saved me.
I want that.
Can I do anything else now?
Yeah, so that's an action. You can still move. So, like, if you wanted to
I'm
run,
going
you
to
could do
literally, using my long strider, I'm literally just gonna, you know what? No. I'm gonna run down to the bottom of the steps. Or I'm just gonna run as fast as I can, as far away from Fox. Like, I'm just gonna get away from Fox, because now I don't trust him at all. And and I'm a little caught off guard by what's happening.
that. Okay.
So it's basically put me the farthest spot I can away.
Yep.
I can be away from Fox.
You make it most of the way down the steps. You are close enough now that if you leapt off the steps, you would not take any damage from the fall. So, like, right at the base of the stairs, basically, but not quite on the ground yet. And that will conclude Savage's turn and bring us to Jebediah Peppermint.
Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad, boys. I'm mad. I am going to fly up another 25 feet. Well, I'm going to fly out towards where the dragon is, and I want to stay about 60 feet away from where Mavira might come back.
Okay. So you're moving towards the dragon, but you're still trying to stay, like, airborne, basically, away from the dragon.
Right.
As you do that...
I went 25 feet above the steps, but I don't know how far, like, below that to the ground level it is. So it's
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I just kind of want to go out.
Yep. So you go out, and as you move towards the center of Skull Cavern, you get a better glimpse than anyone has had so far of the ocean above you. And looking up into the ocean above you, you can see an A2, a winged creature, humanoid, suspended in the water with another arcane sigil lancing through her body, just like the one that is lancing through the dragon at your feet. This one, however, is not anchored to the ground. Instead, a pike has been driven through her wings, and the sigil is, like, anchored onto that and is surrounding her, like, her torso or her midriff or whatever. And you recognize her from probably something you saw in Garlel's library or something Zoth said or whatever, but this is Larodith, the avatar of Awara. She is suspended in an air bubble that appears to be functioning off of the magic being siphoned out of her. So if you were to end her siphon, the water would collapse in upon her, and the pressure would all hit her weakened body.
Okay, DM. And Jeb kind of shakes his fist at the DM a little bit.
I raise the tears of my players to you.
Okay. How far away is that?
It's like the dead center of the ocean. So you've got about 500 shins maybe from where you are to the top of Skull Cavern, and then maybe another 250 to 300 shins to where she is suspended in the water. So to make it easy, let's call it 750 shins.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we need to take care of Miss Sassy Pants first. And I am going to get into position, and I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself. And this chromatic, like hexagonal tessellation just goes around Jeb.
Like the Iron Man armor, where it like crawls over him. That's so cool.
It's just like yep. And yeah, so I am doing that, and I am waiting for Miss Sassy Pants to come back because I may or may not. I'm going to say this out to Savage. I'm waiting for her to come back because I may or may not have a lightning bolt for her face or 100-foot drop for her head. One of the two. Who knows? Depends on how sassy I'm feeling.
And that concludes Jeb's turn and brings us to Fox.
Okay. Whew. All right. Okay. Brain is processing.
Whatever he does is disadvantaged because his pants full of donuts.
No, he was clear that it was just to the level of being successfully encumbered, not over encumbered.
All right. I'm going to. How far is Savage away from me?
Savage is. He took the dash action, so he's 80 shins from you because I think his move speed's 40.
And he's still the closest.
He or Jeb is the closest, but Jeb is up in space and Savage is close, like on the ground.
I cannot go up in space.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna put my dagger away and pull out Shadow Walker.
I thirst for battle.
Hell's Shadow Walker.
We can just get rid of him. We can save her. We can save her, all right?
In, coach.
And I run towards Savage.
Shadow Walker materializes into the blade of the rapier you know so well.
Oh no.
And I'm going to just chuck it at Savage as I run.
I fly. And it launches towards Savage.
Rolled my attack and wait, is it would you consider it dark down here?
Yes.
That's advantage, baby. I say baby like it's a good thing. It's not. I promise you.
Because I have dark vision though, is that still an advantage?
Yeah,
it's just to do with this magic sword thingy that has consciousness. You know how it is.
Sentient swords.
Magic sword consciousness.
You know how sentient swords be.
So was High on Life the game?
And how far away was he?
About 80 feet before you ran towards him.
So I move 30 feet.
Yeah.
Then chuck it. It's still at my extended range.
You're throwing it 50 feet?
Which is disadvantage, right?
Yeah, so that would just be negated by your advantage.
Okay,
right?
then I rolled a 7 originally, plus my attack. So that is, I'm doing math. I think if I'm doing the math right, that's 13?
There's a 13 hit you, Savage?
Nope.
I fly. Your aim is terrible. As the sword flies off into the distance. Of course, it will reappear at your side next round.
I'm going to take the bonus action to move even closer.
Okay.
After I missed. It's an afterthought.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to pretty much close the distance. You've got like 20 feet to go to get to him. That concludes Fox's turn and brings us to Aulen Woodrear. Aulen Woodrear, you are in the material plane, I believe.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Attacking the sigil with the dragon. Are you moving or only attacking?
He's attacking, but I think the one thing I'd like to say is he's keeping his eye out for if Mavira shows up, he wants to be ready to attack. I don't know if that means anything in the actual action economy of D&D, but he's just going to keep attacking the sigil.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything to hit or just damage?
Roll the same Constitution save that you rolled before to get through the sort of just wave of magical heat.
24.
24. Yep. Again, you are stronger than stronger than whatever is against you. You.
So I have 3 attacks.
Okay.
You want me to roll damage for him?
Yes.
Okay.
Go, Aulen, go. Go, Aulen, go.
8 plus 15 is 23. That's the total damage.
23 total damage with
and it's a magical scimitar. I don't know if that makes any difference.
With a swish, swing, swoosh. You slash into it, and on the last hit, you feel something finally give way as you carve a deep gouge across the rune, and one chunk of the rune goes out. And as it does, you make a dexterity save.
I would have preferred Constitution. 16, though.
16. You successfully leap out of the way as a huge chunk of crystal stalactite falls from the ceiling and impales the ground right where you were. It's still standing there, big enough that you could cower behind it even at your full size. This huge chunk that fell towards you and landed where the arcane sigil was. You roll a d12 because you moved.
11.
11. You remain where you are. So you land, you're still right next to, you're not like far away again. You know, you're still next to the sigil. You're
I'm going to use the rest of my movement speed to get to the next rune, and then so I can start hacking next turn.
Yep. So you get to the next like kind of segment of the circle so that you can begin attacking it.
Yep.
That brings us to Mavira's turn. Mavira, who is in the cloudy place, she is somewhere where none of you can see her. So you don't get to know what she does, but I am going to make some rolls on her behalf. Okay. And then it brings us to Zothkug's turn. Zoth, the silence and stillness of the border ethereal surrounds you. What do you do?
Does this one have runes around it, or is it just the crystal that looks infected?
It's the crystal, and it's not runes. It's like actual lines of magic, like a guiding bolt that was suspended in space. Ooh. That kind of draw the circle and lance into the thing.
Can I? Okay, this is gonna be weird.
I like weird.
I want to try and touch the crystal. Like place my hands on it.
Okay. Are you trying to do anything else, or is it like just to see if that hurts you?
Well, I'll see if it hurts me first.
Well, some stuff happens at that moment. So what else are you trying to do so I can figure out how it affects you?
I was gonna try casting aid on it, or like healing it, putting some healing magic into it, or cure wounds.
Okay.
I'll do cure wounds, actually.
Okay. So you reach out to touch the crystal, and just as your hand makes contact with the crystal, several things happen at once. The first thing is that you roll a Constitution save.
Okay. That's an 18.
Okay. The magic that is impaling the crystal lances out of the soul crystal. It's still in there, but it extends out of the soul crystal and into your palm and begins attempting to work its way up your arm. You like basically batten down and focus your mind, and you're able to hold it there at your palm. You have now entered a sort of tug of war with the magic. And if you are able to use your magic to press this magic out, then you will be able to cleanse the soul crystal of the poison that's in it. That's just the mechanic that's at play here. Each round, you'll have a chance to do that. The level of spell you cast will matter, and then there will be a roll of your spell modifier. So whatever is used for your spell save, there will be a roll of that, and that will be contested by what I'm calling the Arcane Corruption DC. But it's just a number that is determined on how long the poison has been lancing through the soul crystal and stuff like that. So it'll be contested by the same number every time, but you don't know that DC yet. So this round, you can make one of those. You had told me the magic. It was Cure Wounds?
Wounds. It was going to be at first level.
Okay, a first level spell. So roll your, I think, Wisdom for a cleric. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so roll your Wisdom and add 1 to it.
Okay. Do I add my Wisdom mod, or is it just a Wisdom roll?
Add your Wisdom mod.
Those are the same things.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. 12 on the die. Wisdom mod is +5, so 17. And then you said +1?
Yes.
Okay, 18.
Okay, you press in on this force, and at first you feel like it's about to move, and then all of a sudden it's almost like something slips, like when you're holding something tightly and one of your fingers gives way, and you feel it kind of push just a little bit further up your arm, working its way towards your shoulder. You get the sense that if this happens 5 times, it would be really bad for you.
Okay.
And then your turn concludes, and we pick up with Savage Tempest.
All right. So my focus is still on Fox at the moment. I'm a little fed up at this point. Savage is like clearly huffing, like really upset, but can tell that Fox is not in his right mind because why would he be attacking him? Because I already know something's going on, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my my rope. I'm basically going to just jump. I'm basically going to jump at this man and tie him up. Like, I'm going to basically just like lasso him and tie him to the ground so he stops moving and he's not a threat. Okay, that is my action.
Okay,
yippee-ki-yay!
So
if he tries to get away, I'm using my opportunity attack to bring him back and do it again.
This requires what's called a grapple check. So this means that you, as the grappler, can use strength or dexterity as the modifier to your roll to engage him in grapple. And if you are trained in athletics or acrobatics, you can use that skill instead, but you have to be trained, which means that on D&D Beyond, you'll actually see like the little dot next to it that says, you're good at this one. And Fox, you can roll athletics or acrobatics if you're trained, or strength or dexterity to avoid his grapple engagement. Once you have grappled him, then we'll make another roll for you to tie him up. Chat says Fox wrangling. That's exactly what this is.
All right, I got a 20.
I got an 18. I failed.
Okay. Savage, you are able to successfully grapple him. Now I would like you to make a sleight of hand check opposed by Fox's acrobatics check. This is to tie the rope while Fox do be struggling.
25.
Oh,
I can't even beat that. Get the out of here.
Come on.
No, I'm not gonna. The highest I can get is a 23. So.
You can nat 20.
Yeehaw! Let's go.
Yeah, I could nat 20. I did not nat 20.
All right. So you leap onto Fox as Fox is running headlong down the stairs towards you as fast as he can. He's thrown his sword, so he's like barehanded running towards you. And you like take a crouch on the stairs and you just kind of meet him as he gets to you, flip him over yourself and pin him to the steps, wrap a rope around him in like expert fashion and tie it in like a little bow. It's probably not a bow, it's a real knot, but you tie him up in some fashion.
You don't understand. You don't understand.
At that point, yeah, I guess I guess I can just take a seat on his back and look up at Jeb and just kind of give him a nod.
Okay.
Just kind of like, just kind of breathe for a second.
Give him a pop in the face.
He can do that next turn. He's done 2 actions.
I think this embarrassment will do.
That brings us to
I literally
Jeb.
hog-tied the man.
It's Jeb's turn next.
Okay. No Mavira yet.
No Mavira yet.
Oh.
Dang it. And if I hold my action, she's going to do some crazy thing, and then I'm going to end up missing again. Savage. I point down towards Mavira, like where she was. I was like, you got her? You pew got her? Like, you kill her? You can take care of her?
Yep, I can handle that. I can do the pew-pewing if that's what you mean.
Okay. Flying up.
Okay. You fly up towards the ceiling.
Yep.
You're probably not gonna enter spell range, I'm guessing, this turn, right? If you're about 500 shins away, or can you make that?
Well, I mean, my turn's already up, so I'm just double moved for the time being.
Yep, double move towards the ceiling. In the next turn, if you take that like double move again, you could be touching the ceiling. So I'll put you 300 shins from the suspended avatar. That's going to bring us around to
I'm only moving 50 feet around.
Oh, sorry. I think I was giving you quad moves instead of double moves. So you're 2 or 3 rounds away yet from touching the ceiling. You're a while away.
Yeah.
Okay, Fox, it is your turn. 30 seconds on the screen.
Okay. I haven't been bopped yet.
No.
All right. I'm going to try to use, I guess, sleight of hand to wiggle my way out.
Okay.
With the ropes.
Yep, go ahead and roll sleight of hand. Savage is no longer grappling you, so he doesn't get to oppose you. It's just based on...
But is me sitting on him doing anything? Because that's what I did say.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not an engaged grapple.
Oh, okay.
That's something where, like, you know, if he bucks hard enough, he'll just fling you off.
Oh.
14.
14. That is not enough.
Didn't he tie it with a 25?
Yeah.
I tried.
And if he can't roll that means like he can't bring that out. Like break out, right?
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right.
His only hope is a natural 20.
Yeah. If he nat 20s it, I would give him the escape.
I tried. I don't know. I can't play an instrument. I can't do anything.
Okay, and that brings us to Aulen's turn. Aulen, you're attacking a rune.
Keep on striking those runes.
Yeah, you are.
Hold on. Oh gosh, this is the Constitution. I fail. 9.
Okay, so you attack it, but now like your arm's getting a little tired from having to constantly dig through this magic barrier thing. It doesn't like harm you. It's just that you can't get to the sigil. Like it's almost like there's like waves of force pushing up from it, and your sword can't quite cut through them.
So none of my 3 attacks hit?
None of them attack. None of them hit.
Okay.
That brings us to Mavira's turn. Ooh. Zothkug.
Oh no.
You're standing there with your arms stretched out. You're having this arcane fight, and next to you, you feel a tap on your shoulder. You look over, Mavira is standing right there. She says, "How's it going?" And then she just rears back and takes that great sword and attacks you with it. She has advantage because you are stuck to the crystal at the moment.
Holy cow, this is how Zothkug dies, I think. That's insane.
One of them was a 1, the other one is a 6 plus 6 is 12. What's your AC?
16.
16. There's so much magical energy in play that the first attack, she's like, it doesn't hit you.
I duck.
The second one is a... Sorry, I can tell if it's a 13 or an 18. It's a 13. So the second one is a 19 to hit.
Dang, that hits.
Okay. The 19 hits you for 20 points of damage.
Oh.
Roll a concentration check to not lose another bit of space to the arcane corruption.
That's Constitution, right?
Yeah.
Is it a save? Well, a save, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can add a D4 to that from your bond, right?
Does Aulen count as being within 30 feet of me?
Yeah, he's within 30 feet of you.
I can add a D4 to that then.
You've
I
also
should
got
have been adding
advantage
that to
from
my
chat.
Constitution.
Chat just gave you
Dang it.
advantage.
Yay, thank you, Chad. Wow, I rolled
Billy
the
coming
same.
in with the save.
I think you said
I
you rolled
rolled-
the same.
I did. I will add the D4.
Okay. I'll have
That
some
is
more
a
of your
4,
tears.
So that's going to be 18.
18. You succeed on the Constitution check, and you do not lose any ground, despite having just been hit for 20 points of radiant damage.
Can't be hit for that again, though.
Well, Mavira missed her first attack. That's her turn, unless she uses another action surge. But she does not choose to use an action surge on you.
But she's still here.
She is still here. She's right next to you.
That is not good.
And we cut back from Mavira to Zothkug. It's Zoth's turn here in the stillness.
Well, I guess I just have to pump more magic into this.
Chat has cast another minor hex on Mavira.
Yay.
Okay, so you're going to shoot some magic at it. Tell me what magic you're using.
Can I use my channel divinity?
I think so. Let me read the description really quick just so I can figure out what bonus that would work into. Channel Divinity. You can use it twice between rests, so I'm going to give you +2.
Okay. Cool. And then wisdom. Doop, doop, doop. Can I use the advantage that the rod gives me once?
Yes.
Oh, good call.
Ooh.
That's a little better. 17 plus 2 is 19.
You feel like a satisfying sort of tension in your muscles as you push the arcane energy back. It is now at your palm again. And the next time you do this, you will be pushing into the crystal and starting to actually purify the soul crystal. That brings us to Savage Tempest.
Someone needs to get it here.
Now Jeb has gone straight up, right?
Yeah, Jeb is going straight up.
And Aulen is with us off. Is that
No.
No, Aulen is down at the dragon. So you can see you are about.
Aulen's with us in the same room.
Yeah, you're like a quarter of the way up the stairs.
I didn't know that.
You're like a quarter of the way up the stairs, maybe a little less. You're close to the ground. Above you, Jebediah is flying straight up towards the ceiling. Literally beneath you, Fox is tied up. And then at the center of the room where the dragon is imprisoned in the sigil, Aulen is next to it trying to attack the sigil with his sword. Chat has granted a boon. What you doing, Savage? We'll get to the boon in a second.
Well, I mean, now that Alan's in the room, it kind of changes things up. I'm gonna go ahead and look at Aulen. Oh, no, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Spike Growth to the point it makes like a donut around the room, so that Aulen's not in it and he can continue on doing his thing. And then. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for now.
What's the range of
yes.
spike growth? Yeah,
I don't think spike growth would fill the whole cavern.
Oh, okay.
Let me
It should give you a range.
Yeah, it should tell you.
Yeah, it's only 20. It's about 20 feet, 20-foot radius.
Okay, so you can pick like a spot. Like you could surround Aulen with a donut so no one can get to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Sure.
I'm gonna surround Aulen with the spike growth there, and then. I was told by Jeb to watch for Mavir, so I'm gonna just pull out my playing card set and start playing some solitaire while I'm still sitting on
waiting for Mavir.
Still sitting on top of. I'm gonna offer Fox if he wants to play like Go Fish or something, and then see that his hands are tied up and just and then go back to what I'm doing.
Wait, so are you seriously playing cards?
I swear,
okay.
I brought out the playing cards.
All right.
While I'm waiting.
This man brought out the playing cards.
That
brings us to Jeb's turn. Jeb still moving upwards?
Did you want to resolve the boon?
Sure. Let's resolve the boon. Jeb, as you're moving upwards, you feel some kind of strange connection. It starts at your little fingertips, your little mole claw tips, and for just around... You feel like the real weave, the way it's supposed to be, and it latches on to the rod that you have and propels you upwards, and you cover the rest of the distance to the ceiling in this round at breakneck, terrifying speed. And then just in that instant, it's gone again. It's almost as if something is messing with whatever is suppressing magic in this moment. Like maybe some creature is pushing back against it and little bits of the weave are bleeding through.
Okay, in his Jeb's mind, he's flashing back to when we fell down a mile at breakneck speed, and he's now falling up at breakneck speed. But yeah, unpacking that later. Because that's significant.
We'll put that with the donuts here in the inventory.
Yeah.
The emotional backpack.
And then you said
donuts.
You said it was 200 feet or 250 feet through the ocean to where this figure is. All right. Jeb closes his eyes as he's like flying forward and thinks back to a time back home where he was playing with Violet and they were playing Magic Tunnel, digging where she would dig a hole out in the wall and he would try to find where she is. And as this connection to the weave happens, he Supermans his claws, like his hands out in front, and with his claws he pierces the fabric of reality and pulls it apart. And I'm going to cast Magic Tunnel, which is going to teleport him 250 feet directly into the air bubble with Leodith.
Nice. You are next to Lerodith, who is sort of revolving gently in the water. Like, it's an air bubble and she is suspended in it, so she's just kind of spinning in place. It's not like the water is actually affecting her.
Right.
And chat blesses off with a D4 he can add to something in the future. And now that you are next to her, you can see that she has taken significant damage. She's far beyond bloodied, and she's got these great gashes down like her body that basically she's been attacked by something that like has some sort of flail type attack. She is illuminated by a single slice of light shooting down through the Umbral Sea, where those two large steel doors didn't quite close at the center. That slice of light is what's illuminating the space where you are, and she's just kind of resting on her back, suspended there in space, spinning in a circle. The sigil that imprisons her again is impaled through her wings on a pike, and then the magic kind of spirals off of that to hold her in place. And then off of the pike on both ends, there are little caps that are attached to hot wires that stretch out into the water. All of this you take in a breath, in an instant, as you appear there having cast Magic Tunnel. And then you look up, and you find yourself staring into the eyes of not one, but two aboleths. And on that note, tonight's Dungeons & Dragons session comes to a close.